Let's see here. It should be connected right now.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if I see your pop-up.
It says it's going to notify. It's going to notify that
you're live. I see you.
It's working.
Wait, you got a green screen?
Yeah, it does have some sort of green screen. It says invite, love, peace, and blessings. Okay, it's working now, but I don't hear any audio. I'm trying to test it out to see if it's working.
You requested me.
All right, bear with me, y'all. I just got live access, so I'm trying to figure out how this thing works.
No, you take your time.
Wait, let me turn off Bluetooth because I don't hear nothing. Hey, Shalom. I just got live access on here. So y'all bear with me. I literally just got live access on TikTok. So if you can hear me, put a 1 in the comment. I'm gonna log off here, sis, all right? Shalom, shalom. If you're able to hear me, put a 1 in the chat, please. If you're able to hear me, put a 1 in the chat. I want to make sure everybody can hear. I see a 1. So you're able to hear? Okay. I got 1 from Durasco, 1 from Dominique, 1 from LJ44, 1 from... Okay, shalom. So y'all can hear me fine, no problem? Okay, bear with me because I literally just got live access to TikTok. I got it. Yep. Okay, good. That means you can hear me. Okay, cool. So you're listening to the Forefront Radio. For those of y'all that are new, let me introduce myself. The Forefront Radio started in 2020. The Forefront Radio started in 2020. The goal was to educate the diaspora with news and information pertaining to who we are. Okay? It's very important for us to work together as a collective to teach the people because there are forces at work that try to hinder us from learning, growing, developing ourselves. Okay? From learning, growing, and developing ourselves. And it's vital for us to work together as a unit. When you go through this this TikTok channel, you're going to find a lot of information. Some information you're going to see is taboo. Some information you'll see is not readily discussed in open circles. So this will give you an opportunity to learn, to grow, to develop. Okay. So my name is Afiel Levi. I am the host of the Forefront Radio. I started the Forefront Radio in 2020 after the suggestion of a church elder that I dealt with. And the elder said, you have a lot of good information that you like to talk about. Why don't you start a podcast? So I started a podcast and literally it grew over time. On YouTube, I got 12,000 subscribers. If you type the Forefront Radio 1 on YouTube, you'll see that there's 12,000 subscribers on there with a plethora of information. I have a SoundCloud page that has truth music on there. The SoundCloud has roughly over 200,000 listeners on there. As far as music and everything like that. Also, I put out a documentary about 10 years ago. This documentary was called While You Were Sleeping. Okay. This documentary was called While You Were Sleeping. And it was so controversial that Google just took it completely off. Google took it completely off. Okay. So bear with me. I'm trying to find out how to use the live and everything. I just started it. So bear with me. I know it's just given the green screen background. I was trying to change it over to the color. So I'm still familiarizing myself with this aspect and with this live stream. Okay. So this was just a test run. to see if the live works. I'm still trying to figure out how to put the background in it. So invite others to come in and join. This is a multi-guest platform, so I'm inviting everybody that wants to discuss different things that impacts our diaspora to come on in and discuss things. So like the content, of course, share the videos, of course, speak to other people. Shalom, Vargas. How you doing, bro? Good to see you. Shalom, Virtual Enterprise. Shalom, Sister Daniela. Shalom, love, peace, and blessings. Shalom, Dominique. Shalom, Darasco. Shalom, LJ44. Shalom, love, peace, and blessings. Who have I not greeted yet? Let me see here. Who have I not greeted yet? Let me see here. It says swipe to view comments. It says end live 13. No, I'm not trying to end the live. All right, let me see if I could change the background. Let me invite a guest. Let me see how I can invite a guest. Vargason, you've been on here before, so I'm gonna add you as a moderator and I'm gonna add you as a guest as well. Let me see if I can pull you up real quick. Hit invite or something. Click invite or something like that so I can add you on. Guest. Accept.
Shalom, man.
Hey,
Man, it's good to see you on here. It's good to see you on here. I'm so glad you got your 1,000 followers. That's what's up.
real talk.
I, yeah, I bet. As soon as you bring out the word, man, the devil shows up to take it away. Mark 4:15. That's what it is.
Yes.
Shalom.
You're absolutely right. Shalom, Sister Nisa. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad you got your 1,000 followers.
Shalom, Anthony.
Shalom, Vargas, Brother Vargas. Sister Love, Peace, and Blessing.
Shalom, family. Good to see you. Shalom. Well, Shabbat Shalom.
So, how do I change this thing where I could get it off the camera? How do I turn off the camera?
Do you want to set a background, brother?
There
Oh, there
we
you
go.
go. There you go.
All right. Boom. Now I'm good. All right. That's all I needed to do.
Hey,
That's all
brother.
I needed to do. Wow.
Excuse me, brother. All you have to do when it comes like to set a moderator is click on who you want as your moderator's name, and then you can give them full access.
Okay. So what I tap on your screen or something, on your name or something?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I tap on your name.
Yeah.
I got microphone. I got camera. I got a square box thing and something else. What? X. I guess that's the. I don't want to press the X. That ain't good. X don't sound good.
You,
What is it?
you should be able just to click on their name of who you want to set.
Shalom, salvation to Israel. Shalom, truth hurts. Shalom, welcome, welcome, welcome. Shalom, all you guys that's joining on. Appreciate everybody that's joining in on the live. Yo, this is my first time going live, baby. Hey, I really appreciate y'all. I really appreciate y'all because it's very important to have like-minded believers discussing different things, different topics. And a lot of the things we discuss as Hebrews, people don't like, but the truth is the truth. You understand? The truth is the truth. So, just going back into the background of how the Forefront Radio started, it started in 2020 over the suggestion that a brother had gave. And the thing really took off and had a mind of its own. We touched on so many different topics. If you go to the profile and click my profile, and this is for folks that are new. You can go to my profile. There's a pop-up link. You'll scroll through it, and it'll give you links to the Spotify page, the YouTube page, the what else is on it? IG. All my social media stuff that I have on there is there. And the great thing about it is it has over 180 episodes of information for the diaspora. We talk about current events. We talk about history. We discuss Bible events, and I want to use it as a platform to invite like-minded believers, like-minded people that has a care and appreciate for their people and want to uplift ourselves out of the social, mental, and spiritual degradation that we're in. Okay, so we all got work to do. We all got work to do. So the gifts and talents that you use is not for our glory, of course. It's for the glory of the Creator of all things, the Most High. And it's very imperative to use your skills to build people up. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to come on here and motivate the people, discuss taboo topics, get into different ways that we can help people in the diaspora, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, all our brothers that are scattered worldwide. Okay? For the descendants of slavery and colonialism, this is for you. You understand? So some people might like some of the conversations that we have, and some people might feel uncomfortable. So what do y'all think? What are your thoughts? Please share with me your experience on TikTok so far. This is my first time on the live, so I want to get some of y'all feedback on how y'all have used TikTok so far as the lives, posting up videos, different things, interacting with the people. Give us some of your thoughts. Vargas, you want to go first, bro?
Oh, they're definitely gonna block you. They're gonna mute your account. They're gonna ban it for a couple of weeks. Uh, they don't like when the truth comes out. Just like I was saying earlier in Mark 4:15, when the truth comes out, the Satan shows up to take it away. And this is something that people don't like because they tell you that this is a new doctrine that has been coming out, but they don't understand that this is the doctrine. This is the true doctrine that the Bible speaks of. It's just that it was hidden because it was only the children of Israel that is this word was given to, and they were the ones. The 12 tribes are the ones that were going to decipher these words, these scriptures. That was the mystery of the gospel. Just people don't they read something and get offended because they have made uh, man-made religions, and they think that when they read something, oh well, this is to us, this is for everybody, this is for the whole world. But it's not true. It's a lie. And because of it, when this true doctrine comes out, who salvation is for, that the law is not dead, but is very much alive, they immediately try to shut you up, and they will ban you and mute you for all of this stuff. So the people who are bringing this out, who are bringing out these gospels of the true foundation, you better be ready to be hated, because this is the truth, and this is why he said that you will be hated in the account of my name, because this is the true doctrine. Who salvation is for, who the law is for, who the word was given to. So the word is not only just the law and the testimonies, but it's also the Hamashiach, because he is the word that became flesh, and he was given to the 12 tribes for repentance of sins. So that's what it is. So be
That's heavy
ready.
that you say that. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Are you finished, Brother Vargas?
Salakia. Yeah. That's what I was. I wanna end it there, and somebody else wants to
Oh,
go next.
okay, you came out with guns blazing. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know if you could say that on TikTok. You have to censor yourself on this thing, but you came out. The experience on TikTok is I found a lot of brothers and sisters and in the truth, and of course, I've been listening for almost a year now, in like September, October. And what I'm finding is that definitely I need to, well, I have been in the last, 3 months, been reading the Bible for myself to show myself approved. But I'm finding that a lot of brothers and sisters are not teaching the same thing. They're not really on one accord. And I just appreciate that. That I found the Forefront Radio because your teachings have been very edifying and line up with scripture and just very consistent. So that's pretty much been my experience on TikTok for the most part. Initially, I just came on here just to see what it was about. And I was here for the fun and the stupor of it all, the foolery. And then, of course, I ran into my sisters and brothers and started getting, more and more information about who I am. And of course, it has forced me to read the word for myself and create a few relationships through the app. So, as Brother Vargas did say, there are people who are not going to like some of the content because it's going to cut them and it's going to disturb what they have already known and grew up with and what they're used to hearing. Um, but hey, we're in the truth, so we must tell the truth. So, but again, like I already advised, make sure that you're prayed up and pray before you come on this app and go live because you have to be strong. Um, but I think you already know that. All praises and God bless you, brother.
Thank you for that feedback. Appreciate it. Welcome to the stage, Urban Royalty ATL. How you doing?
Shalom, shalom, everybody, and congratulations on being able to go live.
Listen, let me tell you. Literally, I was on here, right? I'm making videos, I'm
hmm
posting it up, making videos, posting it up, right? And
hmm
I'm seeing the numbers fluctuate. I'm like, yo, TikTok doing this on purpose. Because literally earlier today, I saw it said 985. I'm like, all right, I just need 1,000. All right, cool. Then I saw it say 991. I'm like, oh, we getting there, baby. We almost there. Then all of a sudden, out the blue, I look, it say 958, 941. I'm like, wait, what is this? Why is my numbers fluctuating? Like, how do you drop 20 people off rip out of nowhere? It makes no sense. Like
Yeah,
earlier, right?
they
When the
messing
live
with
first
you.
started, 80,
hmm
90 to 100 people was in this live. Then all of a sudden, slowly, it's just boop, 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 boop. I was like, yo, that's crazy.
You want to know why? Because each one of us on this panel right now, they flagged. So we went through a lot with TikTok. A lot.
Hmm.
Some of us have been kicked off from TikTok.
Hmm.
I know I have. I think Brog has had a couple of times too. So when we hop on lives, depending on what time of day, that we can throw whoever hating on us from behind the TikTok screen, your
Hmm.
numbers are going to jump. And sometimes they have people that do, or they set the AI that way. So you got to say, you got to make sure and say for educational purposes only. For age 21 and up only, or things like that to try to
Hmm.
throw off the algorithm and the AI. And you definitely can't say certain things because people who took our identity, that the AI is set to make sure if we say anything about them, we get booted.
Okay. I see. I
So
see.
it's yeah, trigger words that they have. That's why when it says here, when you go on your live or your on
Hmm.
their options, any type of trigger words that somebody put into the comments, AI will automatically flag it and remove
Mm,
that comment under a post or
mm,
under a live. So yeah, especially with us black content creators. Oh yeah,
hmm.
they love censoring us. That's why people that don't look like us, they can get thousands and thousands of followers and get paid. Because really, when you hit 10,000 people, TikTok is really supposed to start paying you for your content. I ain't seen
Hmm.
out of their money yet.
Really?
Hmm. And
Yeah,
I
that's
got over
true.
and I got over 10,000 followers, and I ain't
Yep.
getting out a check from TikTok yet.
Yeah, they supposed to what do they call the blue mark or whatever? Well, that's not true. They ain't gonna pay you.
Yeah, but you know
My,
what? I don't come on this app to get paid, Vargas. I came on
yeah,
here to
me neither.
fellowship with my people, and I mean, if I get paid on something, I people give you gifts and stuff like that, but I give the same gifts people give me. I give it to somebody else when I'm on their live. So if you see me give you a rose or something like that, it's coming out in whatever exchange fund or whatever the case is. I just give it to my fellow brothers and sisters. It don't matter to me. But you'll learn.
So, what are some of the positive experiences that y'all have had on? Oh, I'm sorry. Love, peace, blessings. What about your experience? You didn't get to share your experience so far on TikTok.
Ah. um, it's definitely been a whirlwind. I can tell you that. It's definitely been something different from the other platforms that I've experienced. Um, but I will say that I have met a lot of brothers and sisters who are on the same walk, who understand scriptures, who are just seeking the truth that's told properly. And so, you come across those, and most of them, everybody I've came across, we all are the same, just not, if that makes sense. We're the same though. Like we have the same experiences. We've all backgrounds might be different, but there's a lot of similarities there. And so that's one thing I do enjoy about this app is like I got friends all over the map and all over this country and all over the world, like, but we're all in the same. We're all on the same path. It's like we all been through the same struggles, and it's just nice to know that you're not the only one. Because when I first came on this app, I really thought myself and another sister, like, we can't be the only two on this walk together. There has to be others, But what I have learned is being able to differentiate who's walking in this route and who's just not. And there's a lot of people who are not. But it's really nice to see the ones that are, because you learn so much. It's like, and just when you ask certain questions, like the edification you received, it's like, wow, I would have never thought of looked at it that way, or a precept that's given. I have a certain list of precepts, but you may have given me one that shows that just completes the whole of it, the gist of it, right? And so, I mean, it has been very nice to be able to um, have that experience. But I will say, I don't really like to talk negative, but it is a lot. It's a lot, just stay strong. Just as Sister Renaissance says, before you go on any live, just make sure you pray. Pray to the Most High that He brings the Ruach-led people that need to be here and the ones that's really seeking the truth and really seeking their salvation and is only trying to get to the kingdom. Those are the ones that we really should be talking to, because there's plenty of people on this app that have a fruitful of knowledge, but then there are ones that really could gain from that knowledge. And so just always pray. before you go live, and pray and ask the Ruach to lead you on who you want on your panels. Because you never know. You never know. It might come in sound like the Ruach, and then who knows? The topic can get deferred to a whole different direction. So always pray. And brother, I've always appreciated you, even when you and I have studied in person. I know you know the scriptures. You allow the Ruach to work through you, and so you'll be fine. That's really just really all we need right now is people really telling people the truth. We are in the end days. It's been great, but we need to be bringing sinners to their repentance. That's what's going on. We could see the world going, falling, and crumbling apart. But if we're not doing what the Hamashiach ordered us, what the Most High commanded of us, and that is to be fishermen of men, we need to bring them into their repentance. And then after they've repented and gotten to the spirit and gotten to the Ruach, and then we could teach them the history so they understand why they're the law, statutes, and commandments, why the feast days, the Leviticus dietary laws, the health laws, why they all are of importance, because there are commands, but they need to know why, So I just applaud you on your journey. Just continue doing what you're doing, brother. You are a very righteous man, and I've been edified in so many ways just by sitting with you, and I know others will too. And I land my plane.
All praises to the Most High, man. That was heavy, man. I feel like I just got pulled up a train that I gotta go to. I gotta reach to the mountaintop. You know what I mean? This
Now,
is a big
now,
responsibility.
now I would say this, and what do we call you? Forefront?
Forefront, or I
Forefront?
Levi, or Levi for short, whichever's easier.
Okay. So we'll call you, you said Levi? I'll call you Levi. That's
All
cool.
right.
All right, so brother Levi, we like we teach we teach the people, but also we like to have fun. You'll see us cut up, tease each other. Just we try to create like almost like a family reunion type feel and vibe because that's who we are. We are family. We are first cousins. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have people come for you and don't be shocked when the views go up to let you know that you're not in this by yourself. And you got, like Sister Love Peace say, you got some people, you do have some wolves and sheep clothing that will come on your lives and cause disturbances and stuff too. So you just gotta pay attention and watch because you don't find us, me, Renaissance, Vargas, Love Peace. You don't find us on any and everybody's live. There's certain people that you will see us on because how can two walk together unless they agree? So we kind of like you'll see the patterns and everything. But one of the things to help you get your algorithm up, everybody on this live, shalom, shalom. You know what we do best. Tap that screen for him to get up on this algorithm so everybody will know he's on and that we're on this live to get his numbers up. Everybody, please follow the Forefront Radio. Give him all the love and support. He's new on the live. Let's lift our brother up and let's push his numbers up there so he'll be able to be. Everybody will be notified when he pops on, and we can join a fellowship with him. I appreciate and thank y'all with Toda Rabah in advance. But algorithm is one of the main things that you gotta have people give you likes and gifts and stuff like that, so that'll let everybody know you on. But
Oh, okay. So you just tell them what, like share with 10 people on your share with 15 people on your thing or something. What do you do?
I just shared with 30 people just now that we on your live. That's where all these people started coming in. So if people are not like
Nice.
if they're not on another live already, they'll get notified like Sister Keisha and Teflon. They'll get notified that we're on your live and we're talking. But it's good that you follow these people back because that way you'll know they're on, or they can saying you alive that they're watching, that they're probably gonna where one of us is on there, so you'll be in pretty much in the know.
All right, I'm gonna start following everybody that joined up so far. If you already
Mm-hmm.
follow, I'm gonna send a follow back to y'all. All
Yeah.
right. So let me say shalom to everybody so far. Urban Royalty, A Train, Vicky Long, Renaissance, Love Peace, Vargason, Truth Hurts, Jose P21, DB, uh, I Leon's Redeemed, Fancy Seed Planner, Durasco One, Keisha, Dominique, Teflon Sensei, JoJo Dancer 326, Certified, and many others that just joined on recently. Thank you for joining on the live and listening. I'm Levi, the host of the Forefront Radio. I appreciate everybody joining up on this live and getting the numbers up. It's been the most high because when I first started like 5 days ago, coming back to TikTok, about a year ago, I was on TikTok and I made a video. And the video was so controversial that they banned my account immediately. You can ask Augustin. I had a different account called the Forefront Media, or just the Forefront, one of those, right? And I'm putting out content. You know, I got 2 or 3 videos and stuff like that. But the video that got me kicked was the video of Kanye West saying black people are real Jews. And it was him talking to this other content creator that's prominent. He's from Texas, and he has a thing called InfoWars and all of that. And he was like, look, you can't make this stuff up. We know already that you got Ethiopian Jews, you got black Jews, you got all these people that are Israelites. But people are making it up like we don't exist, like we're not real. Oh no, we're gonna be real, and we're gonna be at the forefront telling you the truth. You understand? You can't hide it anymore. It's undeniable.
Yo, I just
So that's what's
reshared the
going on.
video about similar to what you just said. Well, the ish dude, what's his name? Vargas, Harry Rosenberg or something like that. Yeah, he finally came out. I reposted it. He finally came out talking about, well, all the ones that all the slaves that came on the slave ship with Ebo, and I was like, oh, so now you telling the tale? And he was like, yeah, the Ebos are the Jews. They're the Israelites. Oh, so, but all before you were singing a different tune until the truth, really artifacts and stuff started coming to light that, has now y'all can't deny who was on these slave ships. Cause a lot of people don't know Nigerian Igbo is actually the native Africans, the Hamites couldn't say Hebrew. So they say Ibu or Igbu. So,
Mhm.
now, y'all did, a lot of people don't know unless you Google it. CNN reported it like maybe 2017, 2018, that they actually went into Nigeria and went into South Africa and tested the blood of the Limba tribe. And come to find out, they had the DNA strand for Kohanas, and Kohanas means priest. So they are the bloodline of what? Levi. Then they went into Nigeria and tested the Igbos, and the Igbos came up with the DNA of the Israelites too. So my thing is, you can't lie no more. Y'all can't fake the fun. The whole world's starting to see through the shrouds. So
I'm
now he's
glad you
coming to the
mentioned that.
forefront
I
and
just
saying,
pulled it
"We
up.
the Israelites."
I'm glad you mentioned that. I just literally pulled it up. It says CNN.com,
Mm-hmm.
CNN.com, Nigerian Igbo Hebrews, Lost Tribe of
Mm-hmm.
Israel, question mark. This was dated February the 4th, 2013. So
Oh well, it was older than what I thought. Mm-hmm.
over a decade ago, they already knew. And guess what? That information is not old new information. It's old information. I found a book, right, that a brother had posted. His name is Robert Pent. He made a video on on YouTube and I checked out the video, and the video gave a book reference. I looked up the book reference. It was written from the 1800s when we couldn't read or write. Okay. In the 1800s, they literally documented and said, black people are the Israelites, black people are the Hebrews. The book is Ancient America in
The
with
history of
information
ancient.
pertaining to the
Yeah.
Tyrians and the Israelites.
Yeah, it's the Ancient History of America, written by George Jones in 1843. And it says it's in the Library Book of Congress website, so you can read it for free. And it actually talks about the secret writings of Christopher Columbus and who he found when he arrived. And he said there's two Aboriginal peoples, the Tyrians, which are Hamites, and the Northern Kingdom Israelites, which were black. And there was a treaty between the government and the Queen of England for that information not to get out. And if it was to get out, it would be considered treason. Yeah, everybody can read it.
Wow. They made it illegal.
Mhm.
They made it
So
illegal.
George
Hey, don't
Jones
tell
wrote
these
it
Hispanics
anyway.
who they
Yeah.
are. Don't tell these Hispanics who they are. Let them speak Spanish. Don't tell them they were speaking Hebrew. Don't tell these black folks that they really just call them the Spanish word for black.
Well, see, a lot of people don't know, and this is what Vargas was given the history, and I reposted it on from a woman who I saw it on TikTok was given the history of how some of the slaves, some of the slaves actually fled to Mexico, and Mexico
Yeah.
actually protected them. And there's a village in Mexico right now where they pass down the oral traditions of them being Judah, and they're dark, and a lot of them are dark skinned, so a lot of them look like Vargas, and they still are in that particular village till this day. So a lot of people don't know that history, that the Seminoles, and a lot of people don't know the Seminoles is also Northern Kingdom. They were on the
Mhm.
Trail of Tears, all that marching to the west, and they decided a lot of them going to fled into Mexican territory. So I mean, Vargas gave the history like a couple of weeks ago, and he's he can tell you. It took so much coming out now, they can't stop it.
In 1850, a group of black Seminoles and Seminole Indians, so that's Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom, escaped south across Texas to the desert badlands of North Mexico. They established a free settlement, and just like they did in Florida, they began to attract many runaway enslaved peoples trying to escape from captivity. So I'm glad that you went over that, Vargason, because that's really good information to know. And that shows you that both Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom was working together to be free from oppression, free from slavery. You know. So if you got any information on that, bring it out, bruh. Bring it out.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that even the remember the Alamo, what that fight was about. The Esau will tell you it was about them fighting off people, but who they were fighting off was the Mexicans who were trying to free the slaves from Texas. And they don't they're not gonna tell you that. So people really need to go into history and really look for all of this stuff up. And they're also not gonna tell you that when the conquistadors took over uh, all the land, when then it became New Spain, it was the Haitians who helped kick Napoleon's ass out and take them all out. And this is when what's his name, Vicente Guerrero, who was one of the first black Mexican presidents, was the one who was like, okay, we're going to start abolishing all of this stuff. And People don't know this. They don't bother themselves to look up this information, nor talk to people who have this knowledge, that has been passed down through orally. So you will. This is why you get so many people who is like, oh no, it's only these people, but they don't understand that you know how it is that we became criados, how we slaves through these people, and why it was that we became that.
Why do you
So
think the information about our true origins is so strongly suppressed? Why do you think that's going on? And this is question is for everybody, but I want you to answer that first, Vargas, and then Love, and then Sister Niza, if you're still on, and Sister Urban. Why do you think the information pertaining to our hidden history, is so protected, is so blocked? You understand? Speak on that.
that's easy. Psalms 83, 1 through 17. It tells you that they made a tumult, they made an uproar that Israel should not become a nation. It was because they know that if Israel ever got their act together and the 12 tribes came back, they're going to be the head in all the other nations to tell. So they cannot allow that to happen. This is all prophesied that this was going to happen. And the Most High, the reason he put us into captivity was because he needed to beat us here a little and there a little, so that we came back a zealous nation of righteous people that he ordained us to be. And when that happened, this is all promise that this was going to return. A lot of people don't understand uh who thy enemy is, because we have enemies in our own household. And when it's telling us that we should love thy neighbor, and you should love and love thy enemy as thyself, that's talking about the 12 tribes. The other nations, that Psalms 83 speaks about, in Psalms 83, you read it all the way down to 17, it tells you that they're going to be obliterated. It's not talking about them. It's talking about your own households. And it is a law, but people don't get it. They want to put everybody else in, and they can't. And he told you in Exodus 23. Let me read this real quick. Exodus 23, verse 22. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and all that I speak, then will I be an enemy unto thine enemies, and an adversary unto thine adversaries. Not everybody makes it. And the nations that are going to be saved, they're going to have to cleave to the skirt of a Jew. There is no other way. But they're not going to allow it. A lot of people, this is how Jacob's trouble starts. They're not going to want to do that. They're not going to want to cleave.
Okay, okay, good perspective. Sister Love, let me get your thoughts on that same question. Why is our history so hidden?
Well, I know is that, you know, we're his children. And so when you have greatness, the world doesn't want greatness. The world wants microwave, fast food, drive through, comfortability on another man's dime. So the only way you can suppress someone is lie to them, make them believe they're not who we tell them they are, and make them believe what we tell them they are. But see, the thing about history is eventually it repeats itself. Like it says, nothing new is under the sun. And the thing about generations is each generation I notice does get more advanced. It's a slowly but sure process, but it does get advanced. And so they knew when they set up this system the way they did, and they were very strategic about how they did it. They knew that eventually, hopefully, that they would not catch on, but we have. And so as we learn the truth, it's like backfiring, if that makes sense.
Okay. What about you, Sister Niza? What are your thoughts? Why is our history so hidden?
Our history is so hidden. First off, have you read the Bible? I know you have. But when the Most High says, hey, that's our land, go get it, I got your back, we get it. And we just be tearing boys up. So if we knew that for ourselves as a nation, then we would be so fierce. I mean, everyone's scared of us. So they read the Bible. They know who we are. So of course they had to hide it from us. And for us to read, learn how to read and write, and so that we wouldn't know who we truly are. And now that we do have the right or privilege to read and write, we still don't read. So, but that was part of the plan. Dumb us down, make us think that reading is not something that should be enjoyed, or that being scholarly or is not being who we are. I don't want to say black, but but we don't read. So, and I just keep saying, if we would just read, and we already know the expression, if you want to hide something from us, put it in a book. So some of it is our fault, some of it is prophecy, some of it just has to happen in order for us to actually get our inheritance. But I just hope that we collectively are on the mission to win our people and to tell them about who we really are, so more and more of them can wake up, so that we win. Well, we know we're going to win. We got to keep on going. We got to keep on enduring. So that's all I have to say.
Okay, real y'all on point. Y'all on point. I like all this feedback. Sister Urban, what are your thoughts? Why is our history so hidden?
Well, the reason why our history is so hidden is because, number one, when we were following the laws and commandments, we were the most powerful and richest nation on this planet. Queen Elizabeth couldn't even do anything without our say so through the Most High. So when you're dealing with a powerhouse nation of people like that, he's always kept us separate. He's always, the mere fact that people to this day, I've actually, someone told me, oh, you the children of the book. And this was a Pakistani man last week in the Social Security office. I sat there and he was like, can I use your Wi-Fi and this and that and that? I said, okay. And he called himself an Uber. But at the same time, me and him got to talking. I said, oh, you're from where? He's like, Pakistan. I said, oh, you Ishmael. And when I said that, he looked at me stunned. And I said, I'm Judean. I'm Hebrew. He said, oh, you the people of the book. I am. I said, you're our first cousins. He said, we are. He said, interesting. He said, we hold y'all in high regard in our Quran. It's just a shame that y'all went against the Most High's will. Boom. So I was like, you know what? We on a comeback. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Cause y'all already know what it is. He's like, we hold y'all in high regards. And we know. We know. And when he said that, he had a smirk. We know. So you know that the simple fact that I'm telling you who we are means you know y'all time is up.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. You telling me that the camel driver know who we are?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I said, yeah. And when I said, see, I
Wow.
didn't say Abraham. I said, yeah, we the seed of Abraham, Yaakov, and Esau. And he was like, yeah, y'all the people of the book. I even had a couple of years ago, my daughter had prom. I went into one of our vendors' shop to get her a caftan. And this lady is an Ethiopian Ishmaelite. And one of her workers asked me, am I from Ghana? Because I have olive shaped eyes. And I said, no, I'm Igbo. The owner of the store, she's about 70, close to in her 80s, ran from the back of the store and she said, you're the original Hebrew. You got to go home. You got to save us. She said,
Wow.
He said, we are taught who you guys are from kindergarten. It's a shame that you don't know who you are. Till this day, I go in that lady's shop, I can get anything on discount. And I always walk in there and greet them, shalom. So they already know who we are. The world know who we are, and they know at any given Sunday when it's going to be popping, when we really get back in the power, when things really start speeding up. Time is sped up twice. Things are happening. All these plagues of Egypt is happening all around us. And some of us, some of our people, they don't want to take heed. They don't want to stop doing what they're doing, unfortunately. But, the remnant waking up. So, I mean, we just got to keep going. But we on the comeback. That's all I got to say. I land my plane.
I'm thinking and considering all your perspectives, and that's very true. When America teaches about our history, when America teaches about slavery, why does it always start at 1619? Stories of Malcolm X, stories of MLK. They'll barely talk about these prominent people in the past before that. They never talk about our history already living here or traveling from overseas and coming here. Like King Solomon already sent naval ships over here. You understand? When they talk about slavery, it often leaves out a lot of historical information, a lot of amazing and incredible stories. So you hear about Latino history, you hear about Black history, but they separate us from understanding that we the same people, y'all. We the same people. You understand? So I was reading through the scriptures and I was thinking about this question, and I want to touch on just a couple of things just that came to my mind. Right? Ezra chapter 9, it says, now when these things were done, the princes came to me saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations, even the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. For they have taken of their daughters for themselves, and for their sons, so that the holy seed hath mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and the rulers have been chief in this trespass. So I'm reading this and I'm considering the question, right? And I thought to myself, what was the determining factor in ancient times where we at right now? And you know what conclusion I came to? The conclusion I came to was our elders, our kings, our priests was given this information by our prophets, by our leaders, by our priests, and they rejected it. That's what came to my mind. Yes, the other nations was involved. Yes, they were trying to lay a snare to us. Yes, we fell into their hands and stuff. But the primary factor that led to it was when King Solomon decided, I'm going to mingle with these other nations. I want to marry this Egyptian woman over here. I want to marry this Moabite woman over here. I want to marry this Hittite, this Canaanite. And then, even though he knew, because remember, when you read the scriptures, right? When you read the scriptures, it is documented in Deuteronomy chapter 17 that the kings were supposed to have a copy of the law given to them. They had to literally have the law. So we could forgive the lay people that never read the Bible because they don't got the scrolls. We could forgive the regular folks that's farmers and agricultural workers, but the head honchos, the leaders of the people, they're the ones that caused them to err. Our sisters that was in prominence, our men that was in prominence at the time, they were the ones that were supposed to bring this information to the forefront, pun intended. But they didn't. So what happened? They started to mingle themselves amongst the other nations. I want to be like the Greeks. I want to be like the Romans. I want to go celebrate Christmas and Easter and Halloween and all the other pagan celebrations, right, that we do here in America today. That's what led to us going into captivity. All right, we got a guest request, so let me invite y'all on the stage. We got Fancy Seed Planter. Welcome to the stage. And we got
Shalom.
Jose P21. Shalom, welcome, welcome,
Um,
welcome. What are your thoughts?
well, I just want
What
to
are your
be on
thoughts,
a
sis?
conversation because this is a good one. So I know that I'm a descendant of the Igbo. My ancestor came over on a boat to Annapolis, Maryland in the 1700s. And my family had like a really extensive documented history of our family tree, I should say. And I, at the time, before waking up and stuff, was very proud of it because I know a lot of our people do not know where we come from. And I knew all the way to the ancestor that came off the boat. And my cousin did the research. She found everything. I don't know how she found everything, but she got everybody, knew all the brothers, connected all the families. We just had these big family reunions. And so it was so extensive that it got put in the Amistad archives and the Smithsonian. And so I'm thinking like, oh, that's so cool, not knowing, no, they took it. So you wouldn't have it and nobody else would know like they took it because it's very rare that we have all this information. And yes, we're here because our father sent us here. We don't know, well, we didn't know who we are because he made it that way. And I put in the comments, the reason why he did these things was for a punishment, right? But as the prodigal son, if you waddle in the muck and the mire long enough, you will come to your senses and say, I'll go back to my father's house. And that is what
Mhm.
is happening. He is allowed to wake up because we have had enough of being down with the pigs. We done had enough. Like, why are we here? And we have a whole father that will take care of us, that loves us. We wanted to be rebellious. We wanted to go out and do it on our own. We wanted our way. So he is definitely waking us up and we're coming into the know who we are. And as our sister Renaissance was talking about how we are as a people don't really read, touching on what you said. Well, back in the day, a lot of us did not read. That was for scribes and the kings, as you said, they were the ones that read. So most of our tradition was orally passed down. That's why they would come to the temples and hear them read the scrolls and talk about our power and our history because they didn't read. Not saying they weren't smart because we had skills and everything, but reading and writing were for like high up people. They didn't, every common person didn't have it. So that's when we came over here. Some of us were already here, but those that came over here, that's why you weren't allowed to talk in your native tongue. You couldn't write. You couldn't do because for the ones that did know how to write, because you would continue to pass this history on, which we were by curse going to have to forget. So they did everything they could to shut us up and not relay these stories, our history, and who our power was and who we were along to the next generations, because that was the command of the Most High, that that information was going to be cut off because of our disobedience. So I'm just glad to get on and this conversation with you all, because our daddy is awesome, and I'm so glad that he is waking us up. I was just talking to my sisters today that he been trying to wake me up for the longest, but I'm not saying trying. He just maybe I had to be spoon fed. Maybe he's a little piece, little by little, until bam, this century she go get it. She wakes up like, well, okay, that's what you've been telling me for the longest. Like today, it just dawned on me what my Hebraic name was, and he gave it to me in 2009. I had no idea that he was telling me that was my new name, because my government name is Mimi, and I think it's a cute name, but it means bitterness.
Hold
And
on,
when
sis.
I tell you I've
Don't
been
share,
through
don't share your
bitterness.
private information on TikTok now. Hold on, don't share your name on here. Just give you a regular.
No, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. Most High got me, because this is something that's a testimony that I need to say. Um,
All
it means bitterness, and I have been through a lot of things to make a person bitter. But he changed my name to Mahala, and I had no idea it was Hebraic, and that means tender one. So I just all praises to him that he did that for me. You know,
all
Salakia.
praises. All praises, sis. Okay, okay. Appreciate you sharing
Yeah,
that
I
for
was
real.
telling my husband that he was going to work, but yeah, I just wanted to get in on the conversation because this is a good one. But and just knowing uh my history on one side of the family, I don't know my mom's side. I do know they were Iroquois, Cherokee, but for our people who having that argument with people, or people who are claiming to be Native, when I tell you they didn't look nothing like those people, they look like us. And I don't know where these other people came from. I don't know where they came from, because
You talking
when
about
I
the
look at the
Dog
picture,
Rolls Act, folks? You talking about the $5 ones? You talking about the Krabby Patty ones that's red and hairy all over
the
like a
ones,
hairy
yeah,
dog?
the ones that saying they're the Native Americans, I'm like, yeah, that's not according to the pictures that I have.
Hey,
According
think,
to the
think
pictures
think
I
about the movies now. Think about the movies now.
have.
That's what you look at. Krabby Patty folks. What else? Noah, Krabby Patty folks. Last of the Mohicans, Krabby Patty folks. The Last Samurai, Tom Cruise. You can't make this stuff up. Welcome to the stage, Jose P21. Share your thoughts, brother. What are your thoughts on what we're discussing so far? Why is our history so hidden? You got the stage. Floor is yours.
Hey, Shalom, I think that's a great question, and I'm glad I was kind of like the last one, because it gave me a little extra time to think, and I feel that the reason that they suppressed our history is because of lack of inclusion. Like they couldn't find, I guess, Elohim, I've grown to learn that was claiming them, so they had to find a way to claim something. So the only way is to use the book, and since the devil knows the book, he use it for his good, from what he would say. So here we are battling what we was taught since we was born. And I used to be in a RCC, and I believed in what they believed in until I honestly read. And once I started reading, that's when I was able to know, because I was a visual person, so I was watching a lot of videos, and I started seeing that a lot of people would make long videos, but it could be a long video of the wrong thing, and you can get caught on like looking at things from one perspective and not realizing that you can have your own. So here I am on a walk, and I started to have my own perspective. I started to do my own reading, and I started to have, I mean, and I to realize, wait a minute, I have to value what I hear, and I have to value what I read. I have to value who I listen to, and I know that I can't do this alone. So I'm gonna have to have some strong people around, and that's what's not working for them is that we have this platform where we can get together and sharpen each other's sword, and the little bit that I got compared to what Vargas has, you know what I mean? You know, I don't want to say compared to, or adding what he has and adding what Love and Peace has, and so on. And we able to add everything we have, and then on top of that, get along. So now we getting along. And these are all things that we haven't been able to do majority of our life is get along, and let alone sit for like an hour and listen to somebody without having something dumb to say. Now we able to listen. Why? Because the Most High is in control, and they know that. So they can't use nothing against us anymore that they were able to, because now we're reading for ourselves. Why? Because a couple years ago, something happened to the world and they sat us down. They sat us all down. So everybody's reality is boom, right there in front. Everybody was forced to sit down. And now those who chose to awaken, they awaken. And I say that because they started to read. And now there's still people in this broken world still trying to find some fun out of it. And they're like going through some tough time trying to find fun in these crazy times we in. And then there's people who seeking the word, and they know that is happening. And so going back to your question, is the lack of inclusion, because they don't have a history. All they have is his story that they've been making, you know what I mean, through the beginning of time. And now, since the word has been spread to the four corners of the earth, they can't hide it no more, and we awaken. So their lack of inclusion, this book, you know, and us realizing who we are is where we at right now. And on top of that, it's the end times. So we have a whole lot of awakening to do, but such little time. So whatever you have right now, whatever you're working on, at least hold on to that. And I hope whatever you holding on to is this word. And right now, if you listen on TikTok, you ain't holding on to something that you shouldn't be, or to somebody, because time is short. That's all I gotta say.
That's heavy that you said that, man, because all the gods of these nations are idols. All the gods of these nations are idols, and they push idols, idolatry, worshiping of other deities in the minds of the people, and that causes that darkness. That's heavy you say that, man. While you were talking, I was thinking about what was the determining factors that led me to coming into the truth of knowing who we are. And what led to that was I was in church one time, and they was putting this guy on the screen while people were singing, and just the question popped into my mind: who is this guy? Why every time they're singing they gotta have this person's image? You know, y'all know who I'm talking about. Caesar Bow, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Tom Cruise, what's that guy that was a serial what's his name, Marilyn Manson, something like that. They put him on the picture, right, to be the savior of the entire planet. And the thought just came to my mind: who is this? Why is this with no Bible verse? They said this guy is the son of God. I'm like, all right. I asked my uncle. I was like, Uncle, you a pastor. You've been teaching the Bible for 20, 30, 40 years. Can you give me a Bible verse that says that Jesus is right? And guess what? He said to me,
Yeah,
there
yeah,
is
you
none.
can't sneak that. Yo, that was pretty funny, bro.
You understand? And I'm like, give me a verse. Just give me one verse. He said, there is none. Pray. There is none. Pray. I said, wait. You want me to pray? How I'm gonna, bro? I'm asking you for the literal Bible verse that shows me that he looks like them people that are described as red and hairy all over, like a garment. You know, give me the Bible. Give me the Bible, Pastor. He said, there is none. So I'm like, hold up. Let me ask my dad, Pops. Who are we prior to slavery? Who are we prior to colonization? Like, who are we? Who were we before we came over here to the island of Hispaniola? Right? He says, I don't know. You tell me. I'm like, wait, this dude older than me. You supposed to be teaching me, Pops, what's going on? I go to my grandfather. My grandfather is over 100 years old. This man lived on the earth for a century. Granddad, who were we before coming to the island of Haiti? He says, Mbakone, which is a Creole term that means I don't know. Just like they say in Spanish, yo no sé, I don't know. So now I'm reading this Bible verse, Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3, that says, the ox knows his owner, and the donkey his master's crib, but Israel does not know, my people don't consider. So not only do they not know their history, they don't even consider it. So then 2013 comes around. I'm done with this stuff. I want to live in the world. I'm gonna party. I'm gonna smoke. I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna be in a bike club. I'm gonna do all this thug stuff that I wanted to do anyway, right? Then I came across a video. Your nationality is not black. That's the color in the crayon back box. You're not Latino. You're not Hispanic. That means property of Spain. Do you belong to these groups of individuals that live in Europe? No. Because y'all know black folks that's in the island of Haiti, that place was first called Hispaniola, right? So that means black people was the first one that was called property of Spain. You know that, right? So I'm over here like, hold up, wait a minute. I'm getting information pertaining to stuff I've never known. And all they was doing was Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. My skin is black upon me. That's Job 30:30. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat. Job 30:30, right? Look not upon me because I am black, for the sun have looked upon. Oh, I see somebody put IET in the comments. Shalom, shalom, IET. So I saw this and I was like, hold up, wait a minute. Wow. So somebody had pulled up Jubilees. Let me touch on that real quick. Jubilees chapter 1, verse 8. And they, referring to the Israelites, will eat and be satisfied. Meaning what? We're going to be living it up, right? And they will turn to strange gods. Listen, the very thing we just read in Ezra, right? The problem that we had from day one, it says, and they will turn to strange gods, to gods which cannot deliver them from aught of their tribulation. So we wanted to do brujeria, we wanted to do santeria, we wanted to do voodoo, we wanted to live like the Hamites. This is exactly why I'm telling you what got us into slavery, what got us messed up was that our ancestors, our elders was not showing us the right way. They was throwing us off into religion and not culture, not African Hebraic practices. What you eat, what you wear, how you conduct yourself. You understand?
Would you say that was part of the curse though? Because we have been under a curse, man. Like
Exactly. That's
yeah.
Deuteronomy 20. I'm glad you brought that point. Deuteronomy 28. Let's read that. Because that's how you found out you were Israelite, right? Deuteronomy 28, verse 64. It says, and the Lord shall scatter thee. I'm reading in the King James for those that are new. You know, we say Yahweh or Yahweh or whatever you want to say. I know people get sensitive about Hebrew words or whatever. But I'm going to read it just verbatim. It says, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, meaning what? Not the God of the Bible, not the God of the scriptures, other deities, other Elohim, other religions. He didn't give us Baptist, he didn't give us Pentecostal, he didn't give us RCC, he didn't give us Judaism, he didn't give us Islam, right? But we wanted to follow the ways of the other nations. We wanted to live like the Greeks. We wanted to go exercise in the gym. You can read about that in Maccabees. We wanted to have our own Senate house. You can read about that in Maccabees. We wanted to live like the other nations. We wanted to live like the Hamites. And Mosai was like, all right, you want to do that? All right, go to slavery. Bye-bye. See you later. They shall serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. When these brothers was reading and bringing that out, I was like, wow, wow. Just like what Stephen had just put in the comment, right? The Taino Indians, right? They wanted to be associated with other deities. They wanted to worship other deities, right? Watch this. Let me go back to Jubilees. It says, and they will eat and be satisfied. That means we wanted to live it up. And they will turn to strange gods, to gods which cannot deliver them from aught of their tribulation. Caesar Borgia couldn't save you. Allah couldn't save you. Krishna couldn't save you. Baal couldn't save you. Ashtaroth or Easter couldn't save you. Listen, Superman can't save you. All
I got something to say, brother. And a lot of
right, let me
people
finish
don't
this
pay.
one scripture and put in your thought. Let me finish the scripture real quick. And this witness shall be heard for a witness against them. For they will forget all my commandments. This is what happened to us as a nation of people. For they will forget all my commandments, even all that I command them, and they will walk after the Gentiles, and after their uncleanness, and after their shame, and will serve their gods. And these will prove unto them as an offense and a tribulation and a affliction and a snare. That was the trap. And many will perish and they will be taken captive. Many will perish and they're going to be brought as slaves. That's in one of the hidden books here. Jubilees, and will fall into the hands of the enemy because they have forsaken my ordinances and my commandments and my festivals, that's the feast days, my covenant, my Sabbath, and my holy place, which I have hallowed for myself in the tabernacle sanctuary, which I have hallowed for myself in the midst of the land, that they should set my name upon it and that it should dwell there. That's where we messed up at. You wanted to make a comment, Sister Urban. Go ahead.
Well, also, a lot of people don't realize that even in Deuteronomy 28:68, when he said, no man shall buy you, think about this. He said nobody was going to redeem us. Everybody who came in the embodiment of Moses, the Most High, cut their life short. Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Fred Hampton, Huey P. Newton, every last one of them, their life was cut short because they were trying to do what the Most High said was not going to be done. They tried to redeem us out of our situation, and the Most High was like, nah, I'm going to be the one to redeem y'all, and the whole world going to see it. When I call my angels or my Malachim to come gather y'all from the four corners of the earth, the revolution is going to be televised this time. So think about it in that way. It's also is nobody's going to be able to redeem us. Not only these fake pagan, idols and gods, but also our own people was not going to be able to redeem us.
That's definitely facts. That's definitely facts. Let me give a shout out to everybody that's joined the live so far. If you haven't liked and followed everybody that's on the platform. If you haven't liked and followed everybody, follow everybody on the platform. For those that are new, I give a shout out to everybody that's coming in on the stage. I appreciate y'all coming in. I'm just giving a shout out to everybody that's listening in. Okay, we're gonna make sure that y'all on point with what we gotta discuss. So we was talking about earlier. We were talking about earlier. Why is our history so hidden? Okay, we was talking about why is our history so hidden, and it's very important for us to know who we are, because even the ancients used to say, "What if you don't know where you come from? You're not gonna know where you're going." So share the live, share the live, click, 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 share, 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 share.
Excuse me,
Let's get
brother.
more
I
people.
have a quick verse to share.
Go ahead, go ahead. All
Yeah,
praises. Go ahead.
the verse is in Joshua 24, and I'm gonna start in verse 15.
Hey, how do I mute this? I'm new. Hold on. How do I mute this? Mute my mic.
You won't be able to because you're the host.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think you can.
never
I don't
mind
think you
then.
can do that.
All right,
Actually,
go ahead.
it's in your settings, brother. Before you go live, click on your settings button. You can set your moderators. You can set your mute button.
Oh,
I
okay,
ain't
I'm gonna have
never
to figure
set my mute button. I didn't even know that was there. Thank you,
You're
sis.
more than
Told
welcome,
our
sis.
bar.
I got
Yeah, so I'm gonna read real quick Joshua 24, and I'm gonna start in verse 15. It kind of goes with what we talking about. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Most High, choose you this day whom ye will serve, whether the gods, little g, which your father served, that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods, little g, of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And the people answered and said, the Most High forbid that we should forsake Yahweh to serve other gods, little g. For the Most High, our Elohim, he it is that brought us up and our fathers from the house of bondage, and which did those great signs in our sight, which they saw, and preserved us in all the ways wherein we went, and among all the people through whom we passed. And the Most High drove out from before us all the people, even the Amorites which dwelt in the land. Therefore will we also serve the Most High, for he is our Elohim. And Joshua said unto the people, ye cannot serve the Most High, for he is a holy Elohim. He is a jealous Elohim. He will not forgive your transgressions nor your sins. If ye forsake the Most High and serve strange gods, little g, then he will turn and do you hurt and consume you. After that, he hath done you good. And the people said unto Joshua, nay, but we will serve the Most High. And Joshua said unto the people, ye are witnesses against yourselves, that ye have chosen you the Most High to serve him. And they said, we are witnesses. Now therefore put away, said he, the strange gods, little g, which are among you, and incline your heart unto the Lord, our Elohim of Yasharel.
Wow. All praises. Hey, I love it. I love it. Hey, but you're gonna have to break it down, bro. If you pull out the sword, you gotta, hey, give him the sense, bro. Nehemiah 8 and 8. You read the scripture, break it down. Don't just read it. Because I understand it. But there's people that's new that don't know that we're Israel. Break it down, bro.
No, that's not, you know what it is. I kind of know everybody here for the most part. You know what I mean. So most people know, but to break it down, I ain't want to take over your live. But if you want to do that, we could definitely do that. I'm gonna go to. Wait, hey, you know what? We'll go to the beginning,
No, no,
and
no,
we'll
no,
give you.
no. Stay right there. Wait. Stay right. Strange God. So I want you to break that part right there of what Joshua was telling to the people, because a lot of people think that this thing was about religion, that this whole Bible is about, no, it's about a nation of people, and you touched on it right
Now,
there.
of course, I was gonna get to that because I made sure to highlight the whole little G part whenever I said guys, because that's
Hmm.
the one thing that we all been battling with is the little G's that they feed us with, and then the big G, which we learned to know today. You know what I mean? And that's been our battle, because the little G's have been persons, places, and things, and objects. You know what I mean? Like I had a cross around my neck. That was one. That was a big one. And there's many people, probably even listening, that still have one around their neck. And I'm not knocking you, because hey, it is what it is. But all I'm saying is that we always gonna battle idolatry until we fix our eyes. And in order to fix your eyes, you have to give yourself direction, and you get everything from the book. And without the book, you're gonna be fed everything. And I'm telling you, the story of the Bible that I had in my mind before I read the book is completely different. It that's why I say, like earlier I was talking about inclusion, because the old story that I thought of the Bible, it included other people before me, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I don't see those people in here. I kind of see my people in here. You know what I mean? So then I
Mm-hmm.
realized that, wait a minute, I'm included and you're not, and then you making me feel like I'm not included and I'm believing you. So then I just start believing anybody and started believing in myself and in my faith and my spirit, and that's where I'm at. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, understanding the big G and the little G's is very important, and that's what everybody has to do, is understand who most well is versus, you know, I I don't want to sound terrible saying this. So anyway, the name that's written in this book versus the name that is, and but the thing is that the name that's in this book, they took that name and tainted it. They added a cross to it, and they told us we had to carry it around our necks, and they told us if we saw it, we had to do the sign of the cross, and we had to kneel down and all this stuff. All this doesn't make sense, because if here I am today, if I sin, I go into my prayer closet and I pray to God. But back when I was in the RCC, I would go on a Saturday and go into into penance and pray in the closet and be told, you know, I'm not trying to make fun of the church, but to say, okay, do three Our Fathers, whatever, and don't do it again, you know. But it's kind of like, it doesn't make sense, because why am I doing that? And let alone I'm calling you Father. It's like, wait a minute. So I got my dad, I got the Father in heaven, and you, and I'm calling. I was like, whoa, son, God, you wrong here. So I'm never calling you Father again. And then it just started to bother me, you know what I mean? So I hope that when you hear that people are separating the two, little G and big G, just keep it like that. And then you yourself separate the little G's from the big G in your life, because everybody has a form of idolatry. It could even be your kids, it could be your friends, it could be sports, it could be whatever, but anything that's taking you away from the Most High is a form of idolatry, and that became your God on earth, especially, you know, and money could be it too, because look, most people go to work and they do more for they boss than they do for their families. You know what I mean? And if you think about it, it should be the opposite, because all our bosses do is give us money that ain't worth nothing, and then everybody at home should be giving us love. You know what I mean? So we had to just reverse everything and give love our as we can, and less to these people that all they do is give us some worthless money and make us
Mm-hmm.
value that little God, because listen, it's gonna lead us to the same place, and thank the Most High that we woke up, that we able to acknowledge the little G's again from the big G's, because we used to even look at ourselves as a God. You know what I mean? And if that's where you at, you know what I mean, maybe start there, you know what I mean, and not value yourself as a God, because, you know, I look at myself as a worthless, dirty rag, you know what I mean, because I already know where this flesh is going if I stay in this condition. So, you know, here we are trying to work on our spirit 11 o'clock at night. Back in the days, we would be, you know, doing something with one of our little gods, you know what I mean, at this time.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely wasn't this. So, you know, all praise to the Most High that we doing that, you know what I mean? So that's all I got to say.
And that's heavy. That's heavy because that's the very first commandment of how we love the Creator with all our heart, mind, and soul, right? The very first commandment out of the 10. Don't have no other creator besides this one right here. The one that made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is. The God of Daniel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Noah, the God of the prophets. You understand? The big G, the top G, you understand? And a commenter
Yeah,
had made
and
a
then, you know, you
comment.
said the top G, but how about this? Making him the top G and leaving him there, no matter what. Putting that top G in front of everything. But we got to put him there, because before he wasn't there, and I'm not trying to sound cocky, like I had the Most High like on my forehead, and I was walking around like this beautiful saint. I definitely wasn't. But just
Mm-hmm.
right now, it's different. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of people that I know right now has the Most High in their forefront, right there in their forehead. You know, yeah.
That's facts. That's facts. Man, I love this conversation. This is phenomenal. Man, I'm glad I came across all of y'all individuals. Y'all really on point with the scriptures. This is my first time having a live, just having y'all come on and giving y'all perspectives. I really appreciate it with like all sincerity, because when I've been scrolling to TikTok, I see a lot of foolishness on here. I ain't gonna lie. I was really considering whether I should do a live and start, trying to get more people to come in and stuff. If you haven't followed the people on the panel, please follow them. People in the chat, I got some open slots. If you want to come in and give your perspective, give some shout outs. We want you to come in and give your perspective and everything. You know, I want to give a shout out to everybody that's come in so far. Let me kind of shout out some of the people that I've seen that jumped in the chat. We got Catriel, Jude Israel, you got Teflon, you got Four Corners Truth, you got I Leon's Redeem, you got Urban, you got Keisha, you got Arnona, thank you for the roses and everything. You got Proverbs with a Heart, you got Iska, you got Cream 81, uh who else? You got Ezra J. Israel, Love, Peace, and Blessings. She had got off. You got Sister Renaissance was on here earlier. She had got off as well. Stephen X. Who else? Who else? Felicia Ya, A Train. Who else? Who else was on here? Yahshua Hamashiach, Iska. That's all I see so far. That's all I see so far. So if you haven't followed, follow us on all social media platforms. I'm Levi, the host of the Forefront Radio. Got a podcast real quick. It's called the Forefront Radio. It's available on Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube. I don't think it's on Pandora. I think Pandora blocked it. But now we're on TikTok. So I've saw some of the other people, Vargason, Urban, I've saw y'all chats before, and y'all have a lot of wonderful content that y'all go over. I saw Urban have a discussion before. Jose, I haven't seen you before, but I appreciate you coming in and giving your perspective.
I appreciate you letting me up, man. Hopefully I wasn't too talkative, man. I talk a lot.
Oh no, man! Listen, this is a convo. We gotta have everybody like-minded. As long as you like-minded
No, I know
believers,
what you're
that's
saying.
all that matters. Look, like-minded believers, that's all that matter to me. Okay, you might have some people that come in and start with the riff raff type of stuff. Like my page is not for camp bashing. My page is not for disrespecting Israelites. My page is not for arguing back and forth about foolishness. We're gonna talk about the Bible. And if you notice, that's all we've been discussing. Black history, Hispanic history, Native history, according to, but that's it. Anything else is extra. You feel me? So
So
anybody has any closing remarks or anything that you want to say before we close out?
I'll say, it's been a pleasure being on here. And again, everybody, this is his first live. He did a good job. He has over 10K likes, and all praises. Everybody hopped on and gave love and support. It's really crazy how everything, when you read the scripture, and it says that the Most High told the angels to hold back the four angels not to destroy the earth until his chosen has been sealed. And now look what we're seeing. The destruction of earth everywhere. So that lets you know he is almost like really close. If he has not already sealed all, he's very close to it. Like for real, for real. So we got to get our house in order. We got to follow no matter what, no matter if, my children, I love them dearly, but if they don't follow Torah and they fall on the wayside because they want to do the opposite, I'll cry on this side, but on the other side, I know the Most High is going to bless me double like he did Job. I can only tell them, follow the Torah, but if they don't, I know I got to keep going. A lot of the people that we love, a lot of our family members, they ain't going to make it. And a lot of them going to be the ones to flip on us like Judas and try to sell us out. That's soon to come. The mark of the beast is making its way fast and furious to our direction. And we better be prepared mentally, spiritually, and physically and emotionally the best way we can. and hold on, because it's not a famine. Not only famine of food is going to happen, but the famine of the word is going to happen. And you better believe they're going to take everything pertaining to our Torah down off of these platforms. Get yourself a hardback copy of the scriptures and memorize it, learn it, eat on it, drink on it, because we're going to need every bit to get us through what we about to face. And it's going to be a sight to behold that none of our ancestors would have ever seen what we about to see or face. So I land my plane.
All praises, all praises. Anybody else want to come up on the stage and give some feedback or give some information? I see. Hold on. I see one guest that came that want to come up. Let me see. Catriel
Jude wanna
Jude
come up.
Israel. All
Yeah,
right.
Jude wanna come up.
Catriel Jude.
Shalom up.
Shalom. Welcome to the stage. Share your
Shalom.
thoughts. What's your thoughts?
I know you was getting ready to close, but I want to share this
Now
book.
we can stay in if you want. Hey, it's all. Hey, it is all good. Hey, hop on in. The water's fine.
Okay. I want to.
Oh
I
yeah,
want to come.
Jude, we stay on here for hours.
Okay. Okay. Con. I want to come from the book of Baruch, which is like a book that when they removed it, really summarized a lot of things up. When you go through the book of Baruch, I want to go to Baruch chapter 1, and I want to start at verse 17.
Wait. Let
Shalom.
me grab my pocket for. Hold on. We've been bringing out the sword, but I need to grab my dagger. Hold on. Let me get my dagger.
All right, I'll wait for you. Shalom to everybody here. Shalom to you, Vargas, Urban, Jose.
Shalom, Deacon. How you doing, my brother?
Shalom, D.
Oh, I'm good.
All right, I got my dagger. Baruch, what?
Chapter 1, and I want to go around to the 17th verse.
All right, bet. Go ahead.
It says, "For we have sinned before Yahweh, and have disobeyed him, and have not hearkened unto the voice of Yahweh our Elohim, to walk in the commandments that he gave us openly. Since the day that Yahweh brought our forefathers out of the land of Egypt unto this present day, we have been disobedient unto Yahweh our Elohim, and we have been negligent in not hearing his voice." I'm gonna pause right there. I'm gonna break that a little bit down right there, because if you understand what this is saying today, even amongst our people, we're still stiff necked. We don't want to listen. We want to be told nothing. We think we know everything. We think we cannot. Uh, somebody can't tell us something. We just stiff necked. It's just running our DNA. Verses 20 through 22 reads, "Wherefore the evils cleave unto us, and the curse, which Yahweh appointed by Moses his servant at that time that he brought our fathers out of the land of Egypt, to give us a land that floweth with milk and honey, like as it is to see this day. Nevertheless, we have not hearkened unto the voice of Yahweh our Elohim, according unto all the words of the prophets whom he sent unto us. But every man followeth the imagination of his own wicked heart, to serve strange gods, and to do evil in the sight of Yahweh our Elohim." So as we see, we are a stiff-necked people. We don't want to be told nothing. The Most High gave us the remedy for, good eating, but we choose to eat defoully. We choose to eat, what I'm saying, our own way. I think Proverbs 14:12 says, "There's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end of all thereof is destruction." And a lot of our forefathers and foremothers followed their own path, which caused destruction, and now we are suffering the consequences of what they did back in those days. And it's what you call it, a generational cycle, a generational curse. They were stiff necked, so are we.
That's heavy. That's heavy that you say that because I'm thinking and considering all that we've been covering and discussing so far. And initially, when we spoke, we were talking about how our kings, our elders, our princes was dealing with the other nations and not following what was being brought to them. You touched on verse 17. Could you touch on verse 17? 15 and 16.
15 and 16, it says, "And ye shall say to Yahweh our Elohim belongeth righteousness, but unto us the confusion of faces, as it come to pass this day, unto them of Judah, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and to our kings, and our princes, and our priests, to our prophets, and our fathers." They really, they really just summarize everything up as well. If the head, is weak, so is the body. You destroy the head of the body, you destroy the head, the body will fall. You take a snake and you cut the head off that snake, the head will live just a little bit, but eventually it's going to die. But the rest of that body is going to die. So when our forefathers fell from grace, our leaders, the priests, the Levites, the kingship, all of them, when all of them fell from grace, they led us astray as well. And another thing is we should have been up on our Torah like we need to be up on Torah right now. It's going to come a time where, or it is that time where we can't depend on what man say. We can't depend on what man tell us. We have to get in these scrolls, read these scrolls, dissect these scrolls, search them for ourselves. If our forefathers and foremothers would have done that, they would have known better than to follow in a way of what was going on. And another thing is we complain a lot, as a people. And complaining goes into lack of faith. And when you have a lack of faith, I think Deuteronomy, matter of fact, let me read this. Let me read this in the book of Deuteronomy. Let me take this back to the law. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter, I think it's 32. Deuteronomy chapter 32. I'm old school. Would love to flip the pages. Here you go. Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 1. Deuteronomy 2 and 20. It reads, "And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be. For they are a very forward generation, children in whom is no faith."
Stop
You
right
see,
there. Stop right there. Hey, you walk. Whoa, wait a minute. Tell me why I'm holding a precept right on that. Break that down, and I got a precept right after that. Go ahead. Wow.
for the simple fact is, we always, when we got out of the land of Egypt, and when he took us to the wilderness to see what our faith was going to be at, all we did was murmur. All we did was complain. All we did was grovel. All we did was, you know, what did one of the forefathers, what did our forefathers say? Was there
We want to
not
be
enough
like the
graves?
Egyptians.
Was there not? No, he said, was there not enough graves in Egypt that you brought us to die in the wilderness?
Mm-hmm.
So we complain so much, even because it looked dark and dismal. It's not going to always look peaches and cream when the Most High deliver you out of a situation. You have to be proved first. You have to be proved. And when we get to the wilderness part, he has to prove us. Yes, I got you out from the hand of your enemies. I destroyed all those people who had you in captives, who made your life bitter with hard bondage in the brick pits. But now I still got to prove you. Because if you go to Sirach 6 and 7, it tells us, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and don't be so hasty to credit him. So the Most High had to prove us in the wilderness. And then when we was in the wilderness, we started making calves, golden calves, worshiping other gods, revelry, drinking, all sorts of abominable things underneath the Most High's holy mountain. So the Most
Wait
High
a
had to,
minute. Wait a minute. So you telling me that we got out of slavery, and as soon as we got out of slavery, we was dancing and shaking our buns and fornicating like we was in the club?
doing
Damn,
all
that sound
those
like today. Damn,
doing all those
that sound like
abominable
today.
things. We were doing all those abominable things underneath the mountain of the Most High,
Mm, heavy,
sacrificing,
heavy.
sacrificing to and the sad part about it is one of the chief priests, Aaron, was part of that. The chief high priest Aaron, he was a part of that. Now you got to understand, the Torah, this law,
Mm-hmm.
this. You a high priest, you Moses' brother, you Miriam's brother. You know these laws, these statutes and commands, but yet you still chose to give in to the peer pressure, that they put on you in the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
So now, I think it was what 250 they got slayed that day for worshiping idols and going off in revelry. And I also want to go back to Deuteronomy 32:20 where it says, I will see what their end shall be, for they are a very forward. Forward means you are a very disobedient, perverse, abominable generation, children in whom there is no faith. And when you understand the scroll says, without faith, it is impossible to please him. So
Facts.
when we left Egypt, we we strayed all the way away from pleasing him because we didn't have no faith. That's why he said he was going to hide his face. It's
Mm-hmm.
impossible to see the Most High if you don't have no faith. And now I want to go back to Baruch because
Hold
they
on, before we go there, hold on. Before we go there, because this is heavy, bro. You gotta really like picture yourself on, like you know they say
uh,
when you go into court, they say, "Show me the evidence." What's the evidence? Watch this. Think and consider the fact, right, that the scripture says our Creator is like a consuming fire. They
right,
saw the earthquakes. They saw the fire. They saw you couldn't even look directly at me unless you're gonna burn if you look at me. I'm just gonna show you my backside. You understand? And they still was like, this dude been up here for 40 days and 40 nights. We don't know what the hell happened to him. Wow. That to me, like I'm imagining, how could you envision and see the earth rolling under your feet, thunder and lightning and flame? There's literally a mountain right now in Saudi Arabia that's burnt to a crisp. The top of the mountain is just black. Okay. The literal area where our people were at on Mount Sinai is blocked off with fences where you can't go there. They
exactly.
saw
Yeah.
the creator of the universe there, and they was like, nah, we good. We about to party. We about to turn up. Turn down for what? I got one precept that goes with what you just said. Jubilees chapter 1, verse 12. It says, and I will hide my face from them and will deliver them into the hand of the Gentiles for captivity. So part of him hiding his face from us said, you don't want to listen to your father? You want to be like the Egyptians? All right, you're going into slavery.
Con.
For a prey and for devouring, and I will remove them from the midst of the land. If you're wondering why we not in our homeland, brothers and sisters, it's because we wanted to worship false deities. And I will remove them from the midst of the land, and I will scatter them Gentiles, amongst the Gentiles. Now you wondering why you call yourself a Gentile. Now you wonder why
Con.
you are a Greek citizen, a Roman citizen, an American
Hellenized.
citizen.
Hellenized.
Yep.
Yeah, you worship Lucy. Go
I
ahead.
want to
let me
bring this. I want to precept this also, because I want to go to the book of Lamentations, if you don't mind.
All right,
I
get
want to go.
Lamentations and then Vargason and then Sister Urban, because I saw y'all unmute your mic. Go ahead.
Okay. I want to go to Lamentations because anything under that, I love the house of Jeremiah. What I mean by the house of Jeremiah, from Jeremiah to Lamentations to Baruch, I love that house of Jeremiah because there's so much meat in Jeremiah.
Hmm.
I want to go to Lamentations 2:17, which is one of my favorite verses in Lamentations. It says, Yahweh have done that which he had devised. He hath fulfilled his word that he had commanded in the days of old. He hath thrown down and have not pity, and he hath caused thine enemy to rejoice over thee. He hath set up the horn of thine adversary.
Break it down.
Basically, we're in Atlantic captivity. Those that are reputed to be as nothing, those nothings have began to rule over us. Because the scripture says in Second Ezra that he created the world for our sakes. Now, a
Hmm.
world that is being created for our sakes, why are we ruling in it? Those
Mm,
who those you had said to be nothing are ruling over those who the world was created for.
hmm.
He has
Hmm.
made he has made true in his word. Now, if you want the precept that, let's go back to Deuteronomy 28 and verse 63. And I'm now this right here will break it down. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 28. Or matter of fact, I want to go to the original curse. Let's go to Leviticus 26.
Well, 17. Pull up 17.
Now I'm gonna go to Leviticus 26 and I want to go to verse 19.
All right.
I want to go to Leviticus 26 and 19. And it says, and I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heaven iron. Goes into having those bird cages and those shackles on our head. And I will make your earth brass. Goes into the shackles on our feet. And your strength shall be spent in vain, for your land shall not yield her increase, neither shall the trees of the land yield their fruits. And if you walk contrary unto me, and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins. And matter of fact, let me jump up to verse 17 because you quoted it. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursueth you. And if you will not yet for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sins. Pretty much,
Heavy.
pretty much describe the whole state of what we're in right now. Like I think Urban Royalty said it earlier. That's why everybody that came to try to redeem us ended up being unalive. Everybody from Marcus Garvey to Harriet Tubman to Sojourner Truth to who else? Who else? Who else? Malcolm
Toussaint
X.
Louverture.
Malcolm X.
Go ahead.
Martin Luther. The Black Panthers. Who else? All these people who tried to come up. Yeah, I forgot Nat Turner. Nat Turner, all these great people who came from Fred Hampton, all of these great people who tried to redeem us. No, the Most High has to do this and has to get his glory. Because if the man had done it, it would not have been no glory in this. Now, the big shebang is that when the Most High does it, he's going to do it right. He's going to do it on time. And he's going to do it where you going to know it is him that is doing it. And I yield my time.
All praises. All praises. Good for the perspective, man. I appreciate it. Vargas said you was gonna say something, and then Sister Urban. Go ahead.
Uh, I was gonna precept earlier when you were talking about like the captivity that we're in today. Out of Baruch chapter 3, I'm gonna start at verse 6. It says, "For thou art Yahweh, thou art Hayam, and thee, O Yahweh, we will praise. And for this cause thou hast put the fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name and praise thee in our captivity. For we have called to mind in the iniquity of our forefathers that sinned before thee. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our forefathers, which have departed from Yahweh thy Elohim. Hear, Yasharal, the commandments of life. Give ear to understand wisdom, how it happeneth in Israel, that thou art in thy enemy's land, that thou art waxen old, strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead, that thou art counted with them that go down in the grave, hast forsaken to know wisdom. So we know that right there, that we are subject to payments. This is why we pay for every single thing in our household. Every time we go buy anything, we are subject to payments. This is why we're in captivity to this day. It hasn't gone away. And the only way to get away from this is to hearken unto the voice of the Most High. There is no other way to come back to his law, statutes, and commandments, and do all these things through Al Hamashiach. Plain and simple. That's all there is to it.
All
I'll
praises to
drop
the
my mic
Most
right
High.
there.
Sister Urban, you there? Sister Urban, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You wanted to share something? Go ahead.
Well, I wanted to bring out Genesis chapter 15, verse 13 and 14. If one of the
Which
brothers will read it.
you said Genesis 13.
No, Genesis chapter 15, verse 13 and 14.
All right, I got you. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 15, verses 13 through 14. And he said unto Abram, know of surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but, I try to correlate when I'm talking to some of our underweight people, and correlate with new, our time now to this scripture to let them know that it's not a game. A lot of people don't see scripture sometimes the way I do, but I correlate it to where Most High used Trump to stamp our 400 years to the world when he wrote H.R. 1242 Act, commemorating our 400 years of being in captivity. The whole world saw that timestamp. And when you refer to this scripture that he promised Abraham after that 400 years, I'm going to judge the very same people who did these atrocities and went above and beyond how I intended to correct Yasharal. I'm going to judge them. And I don't know about y'all, but ever since 2019, all these countries, all these nations are starting to be judged, and the United States is now getting its get back like never before. Supernatural stuff is happening all over the world. Every last one of them, from Psalm 83, that had their hand in that tumult, that agreement that they were going to wipe our identity off the face of this planet, are now seeing catastrophic events in their countries and in their part of the continent like never before.
Gone.
I praise the Most High because his vengeance and his recompense and his pettiness has no expiration date. So I'm gonna just sit back, do what I'm supposed to, and eat some popcorn and watch my Abba work every last one of their butts. He's gonna give them the business, and I got front row seats to see it. All praises.
Hey, I be
Gone.
laughing at the non-believers, right? The non-biblical based atheists, and I be like, when you see all these plagues and pestilence, I be like, Jesus, take the wheel. Psalms 83, he took the wheel, all right. Psalms 83, he done took the wheel, all right.
Gone.
You understand?
I wanna precept what she just said, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
I
Go
want
ahead.
I want to go to Acts chapter 7, where you can find that same thing written in the New Testament as well. Um, this is the precept to Genesis 15 and 13. This is Acts chapter 7. Um, Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at verse 5. And it says, and he gave him none inheritance in it, no, not so much as to set his foot on, yet he promised that he would give it to him for a possession, and to his seed after him, when as yet he had no child. And Yahweh spake on this wise, that his seed should sojourn in a strange land, and that they should bring them into bondage, and entreat them evil 400 years. And the nation to whom they shall be in bondage will I judge, said Yahweh, and after that they shall come forth and serve me in this place. So not only do we leave Egypt or Babylon with substance, but we're going to go under that mountain. We're going to go back to the wilderness, to our own land, and that's where we're going to serve the Most High Yahweh and be in peace.
All praises to the Most High.
Con,
Great breakdown and great precept. I love it. I love it. Take a quick reset.
con.
Real quick. If you love this content, love this conversation, make sure you are sharing the room. Share the room, y'all. Share the room. Like everybody that's on the platform. Make sure we get this information out because we need a lot more of our people that don't know this information to know it. You understand? So, real quick, let me give a shout out to everybody that dropped a couple of precepts on the list. We got Leon's Redeemed. I dropped First Peter chapter 1 verse 7. Appreciate you. We got Second Ezra chapter 11 verse 36 through 46 by Teflon. Appreciate you. You got Matthew 24 by Four Corners. The gospel will be preached in all the world. All praises. You got let me scroll through all of these. Let me see. There was another one that popped up. Y'all share the room. Make sure y'all sharing the room. Jeremiah 50, verse 33. Israel is oppressed together. All praises. Revelation of Elijah 5, verse 1 through 13. I never read Revelation of Elijah. I
Oh,
gotta go
they go
look
hard.
that book up.
Let's go hard.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
have
I
to
just
look that
got
up.
my 54 book apocrypha, and I ain't trying to get left out of the bunch because a lot of people on this live got the 54 book apocrypha. So me and Magan already got ours now. We ride along with y'all, so we get to read these great books.
All
But you would
praises to
never
the Most
think
High.
this is his first live. The way he's he's hosting and stuff, bro. You a pro. Look, you doing your thing on
I got
here.
a
Urban,
podcast with 180
urban,
episodes. I would hope to know something.
urban.
Obviously, you
It's
about to say
about
something. Go
time,
ahead.
urban.
What kind
I
of
want
podcast you have?
So the Forefront Radio started in 2020. It's a podcast dedicated to our diaspora, perspective that's not often discussed. You have various people in our diaspora that's coming on. So if y'all want to come in and give perspective, have a recording, hit me up, send me a DM, send me an email, and I'll be glad to have y'all on, and we'll have a discussion kind of similar to this. And if my recording equipment was working correctly, I would have ended up just taking this conversation, chopping it up in pieces, and putting it up on the podcast. So next time we have another live, I'm gonna make sure everything is connected correctly so we can do that. So the Forefront Radio, you type www.anchor.fm/the forefront. Once again, it's www.anchor.fm/the forefront. I also have music. You go to SoundCloud.com, and I got over 6 albums worth of music on there. It's about 75 to 80 songs. So, we as Israelites, we want to purge ourselves from the ways of the world. So there's music, there's podcasts, there's content, there's things to help our people to focus just on biblical based things to repent. You understand? So I really hope that anyone that's listening can share that with others and help bring our people to the forefront of truth and understanding. All right. All right. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Oh, Cottrell, Cottrell, yeah, you wanted to bring out a precept. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I want to bring this out, and I'm following you, by the way. And I'm about to jump down after I bring out this precept. I'm about to go out here and do some door dashing real quick.
All right.
Um, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, and I'm glad that Urban Royalty said what she said, and this led me here to Isaiah chapter 47. This is very heavy. It's good meat. So mark this in your Bibles. Isaiah 47. Remember this chapter. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take thee millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms.
On.
I just dropped the mic for you, bro.
So basically, everything that Urban Royalty said is backed up by scripture. This is backed up when you go to Isaiah chapter 47 and you read that. The Most High said he is not going to meet thee as a man. He said, I'm not going to meet you as a man, O Babylon, O daughter of the Chaldeans. I'm not going to meet you as a man. You going to see my wrath. You going to feel it. You going to have to sit down in the dust. What did it say in verse 2? Take millstones and grind meal. You going to go into captivity. Uncover thy locks. Make bare thy leg. You know how when a harlot shows you her leg, you know how when a harlot shows you her leg and you start seeing her nakedness? Uncover thy thigh. Uncover your thighs. Show the world, show the world what you're really doing. Show us. You're gonna be showing that. Guess what? You want to push this rainbow coalition on everybody? I'm going to show the world that's what you're about. Can't,
Facts.
can't nobody do business with you unless you push that rainbow coalition on them. I'm going to show everybody that. You're not going to take that stuff overseas because overseas is going to return it back to sender. Ask Kamala Harris that. You want to take that
Facts.
over there? We're going to return it back to where it came from. We don't need you. Guess what? Africa telling them we don't need you. We have what you need. You need us before we need you. We have the minerals and the resources to keep the world going. Y'all need us. Why you think Vladimir is cool with the EFF over there in South Africa? He ain't stupid. He ain't stupid. Why you think all of these? Why you think they all in cahoots right now? But the way I look at it, that's the new feet of the statue. That's the new European Union. That's how I look at it. I don't know about
That's the
nobody
10
else.
horns. The 10
That
horns of the BRICS
that's
nation.
that's where I look at it. Come, we in agreement. We one in the spirit, Urban. That's how I look at it. That's the feet of the statue of Nebuchadnezzar right there. That's the new 10 European nations coming together.
Don't you know the set? Okay, if you don't know, I'm about to take you out of school real quick. The 7 kings. Keep in mind when they have these summits, this Russia dropped out of it. Mind you, Russia never whitewashed their images of us.
Come,
So it originally was G8. Russia dropped out. There's G7, the 7 kings. Now the same country that dropped out is one that's part of the BRIC nation, which is the 10 horns. You're watching it happen right in front of your face, and people still ain't seeing it.
I
Nah,
wanna
you're
read.
right. And BRICS started out as just 5 nations, and now it's like almost 100.
Come, I
10
wanna read
countries
this.
leading it.
I wanna read this. Revelation of Elijah. I wanna read this up here in chapter 5. I wanna bring out this chapter 5 or Revelation of Elijah. That's on page 589 in your 54 book apocrypha. I want to bring this out, and then I have to drop and go get my hustle on. This is on Revelation of Elijah, chapter 5. It says, and on that day, the heart of many will harden, and they will flee from him, saying, this is not the Hamashiach. The Hamashiach does not kill the righteous. He does not pursue men so that he might seek them, but he persuades them with signs and wonders, On that day, Hamashiach will pity those who are his own, and he will send from heaven his 64,000 messengers, each of whom has 6 wings. The sound will move the heavens and the earth when they give praise and glory. Now, those on whose forehead the name of Hamashiach is written, and on whose hand is the seal, both the small and the great, will be taken up on their wings and lifted up before his wrath. Then Gabriel and Uriel will become a pillar of light, leading them into the Holy Land. It will be granted to them to eat from the tree of life. They will wear white garments, and messengers will watch over them. They will not thirst, nor will the son of lawlessness be able to prevail over them. On that day, the earth will be disturbed, and the sun will be darkened, and peace will be removed from the earth. The birds will fall on the earth dead, the earth will be dry, the waters of the sea will dry up, the sinners will groan on the earth, saying, what have you done to us, O son of lawlessness? Saying, I am the Hamashiach, when ye are the devil.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hey, you in the
Pause. Pause
spirit,
again.
It says
man.
right here. So, as you see right here, the deceived is going to even be deceived. It says, verse 10, the sinners were grown on the earth, saying, what have you done to us, O son of lawlessness? Saying, I am Hamashiach, when ye are the devil. You are
Hey, you know
unable.
what that sound like? That sound like Isaiah 14, where it says, is referring to Lucy. Is this the man that destroyed all the nations and led them to waste? That's what it sound like. Now I gotta go get that book. What you was reading? Revelation of Elijah?
Yes, sir. That's
What
in
was
the
you reading?
54 book Apocrypha.
They got another one with 70 books now. So I'm like, did they go to the Ethiopians and was like, hey, let me get some of y'all books and include it in my English translation or something? Because I'm seeing Jubilees now, Jasher, all these books is coming out now. Hmm.
If you read the,
Hmm.
if you, yes, the Most High already prophesied that was going to happen. If you read Second Ezra
There's
chapter
a third
14,
Maccabees that I just heard.
if you read Second Ezra chapter 14, it was prophesied that these books was going to be given to us. These books were going to be taken out and given to us. If you read Second Ezra chapter 14, let me see. No,
Hmm. You
let me see
talking
in the
about the
book of
70
Revelation.
books of Ezra's?
If you go to matter of fact, I'm gonna bring that out real quick. Let me go to Second Ezra chapter 14. I'm missing. I got to drop, but I guess the Most High want me to keep speaking. I guess. Let's go to Second Ezra chapter 14. Let's go to Second Ezra chapter 14, and we're gonna start at the 42nd verse. Second Ezra chapter 14, we're gonna start at the 42nd verse and read all the way down to 48. Second Ezra chapter 14, verse 42 reads, the highest gave understanding unto the 5 men, and they wrote the wonderful visions of the night that were told, which they knew not. And they sat 40 days, and they wrote in the day, and at the night they ate bread. As for me, I spake in the day, and I held not my tongue by night. In 40 days they wrote 204 books. And it came to pass, when the 40 days were fulfilled, that the highest spake, saying, the first that thou hast written, publish openly, that the worthy and unworthy may read it. But keep the 70 last, that thou mayest
Yep.
deliver
That was
them
the 70,
only
yep.
to such as be wise among the people. For in them is the spring of understanding, the fountain of wisdom, and the stream of knowledge. And I did so. When you read
Hmm.
these, when you read the apocryphal books, you get more understanding than you will when you read the 66.
Facts. That
That
is
that
definitely.
that's why it's the dagger. That's why that's the dagger. You're going with the kid with the apocrypha.
Yep.
Because I was,
Hey, hey, I use that all the time, man. The Bible is my sword, but when I'm ready to get in and go right to the jugular, you pull out that apocrypha, man. It shuts it down quick. You understand? I'm sorry. I love the Bible. Go ahead, bro.
I want to got this last thing. No, I just got to bring out the last thing, and I'm gonna shut my mouth. I promise. I'm gonna shut my
No,
mouth, and I
don't.
gotta
Whoa,
go
whoa,
get my
whoa,
hustle on.
whoa, 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 whoa! Stay in the spirit, bro. Stay in the spirit. Let your yay be yay and your nay be nay. Ain't no making promises and swearing up here. All right. Go ahead. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Now, this my yay. This my yay. I'm letting my yay be yay. This is my last thing. Let's go to the Testament of Reuben. Not Reuben, but the Testament of Judah. I want to go to the Testament of Judah, and I want to bring this out because I was reading this last night because I never read it, but I was reading it last night and I came across it because this is what Judah knew. Judah knew this was going to happen.
Wait.
This
Testament of what?
the Testament of Judah.
Okay, good. I got that on this app. What chapter?
All right, and I want to go to chapter 24.
What
The
20.
page?
Testament of
Because
Judah.
I'm looking for it in my on the 54 book Apocrypha. What page is
Testament.
that?
The
Hey, mine
Testament of Judah.
only got one chapter. What the hell is this?
Give me a second. Let me go to the table of contents real quick. The Testament of Judah. Testament of the 12 Patriarchs would be on 177. So
Okay.
when you go to 177, let me see.
While you looking for that, hey, look, y'all need to like the page. Y'all need to share the room. Let more people come in the room. Don't just sit on the sidelines. Y'all share the room. Share with 10 people. Share with 15 people. If you shared it already, share it again.
I'm sorry. Go to page 188.
188.
Page 188. And you're going to go to chapter 24.
Okay. Whatever, bye.
No problem, sis. Here on the bar. This is the Testament of Judah. It says this in chapter 24. And after these things shall a star arise to you from Yaakov and Shalom. And a man shall arise from my seed like the son of righteousness, walking with the sons of men in meekness and righteousness. And no sin shall be found in him. This goes into the coming of the Hamashiach. And the heavens shall be open unto him to pour out the Ruach, even the blessing of the Holy Father. And he shall pour out the Ruach of grace upon you. And ye shall be unto him sons in truth. And ye shall walk in his commandments first and last. The branch of Elohim most high, and the fount in this fountain giving life unto all. Then shall the scepter of my kingdom shine forth, and from your root shall rise a stem, and from it shall grow a rod of righteousness to the Gentiles, to judge and to save all that call upon Yahweh.
Hey, that sounds like Genesis 49 about Judah.
That's a precept to Genesis 49.
Let me read Genesis 49. Judah. Thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is the lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rise him up? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver until Shiloh come, and unto him shall be the gathering of the people, binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass colt unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel? Isaiah 63. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. Man, that's the Messiah right there. Boom.
Now I wanna say this, and that red with wine that goes into red with wrath. It's gonna be a lot of wrath when the Son of Man come back. It's gonna be a lot of
Mhm.
wrath. It's gonna be so much wrath,
He gonna bring the smoke.
man.
You done said it. Now I got to pull the precept. Let me go to Isaiah 63. You can't make this stuff up, man. The scriptures, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Exactly what the brother just said. We're going to read that right now. Isaiah 63, verse 1. Who is this that comes from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. So there's somebody that's going to come on the scene, right? And this person that comes on the scene, his clothes is going to be dyed red. Let's find out why. Let's find out why. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel? Why your clothes so red? Why does your clothes look red? And thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat. Now, if you ever seen like places like Italy and in Africa, they do it old school. The way that they make wine, someone literally has a bucket down with their feet, squishing down the grapes to get all the juice out of the grapes. On Judgment Day, it's going to be like that. Verse 3, I have trodden down the winepress alone. Listen to what the Messiah says. I have trodden down the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. So that's telling us as Hebrews, right? That the gospel, the true good news, is that without vengeance, there cannot be redemption. Without vengeance, just like he had to save us out of Egypt, what he had to do, like the sister was mentioning earlier, sending plagues, pestilences, fires, earthquakes, tornadoes, storms, all of that, right?
I
It
got a
says,
precept.
all praises. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeem is come. So why his clothes so red? And who is the number one that's targeted on his let me see how I can put this. Yeah, the naughty and nice list.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? Because I can't say that other word on here. TikTok like try to do weird stuff for everything. So somebody's written on the naughty and nice list, and somebody named Edom about to get it. They're about to get all the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
What's your precept says? Go ahead.
Uh, Revelation chapter 14, verse 19 and 20.
Revelation is what now?
Chapter 14, verse 19 and 20.
Revel-
Why his clothes gonna be red?
Revelation 14 verse 9 of Revelation
19.
14 verse
Yeah, Revelations 14, verse 19 and 20.
19 and 20. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm gonna start at 18 because that's saying the same thing. It
Mm-hmm.
says, and another angel came out from the altar, which had the power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had a sharp sickle, saying, thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. Verse 19. And the angel thrust in his sickle unto the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of God, the wrath of Elohim. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and the blood came out of the winepress. We talking about grapes, y'all. Even unto the horse's bridle by the space of 1,600 furlongs. Wow. Wow. Go ahead, sis. Break that down.
That means he coming for the smoke. He gonna have so many, he's gonna off so many people. It says it's gonna take 7 months to bury the dead.
Mm.
He's coming
So
back. He already said, touch not my anointed. People don't understand. When we got punished, those 70 kings, he told the angels, go bring my people because I know they're going to go overboard. It's in their nature. And everyone that you go overboard above and beyond, there's going to be payback for that. We were supposed, our ancestors is the reason why we went into slavery, yes.
mhm,
But the methods of how they tortured us and how they have done us was beyond what the Most High really truly intended to happen to us. So yes, they're going to see an angry black man crack that sky open, and he's going to unleash something on this earth that's never been seen before. And it's going to be so many people gone. Some people, most of them, yeah, Gentiles, true indeed, because they ain't gonna. It's gonna be a get down or lay down situation for them. You either gonna get down, serve the Most High, follow the Torah, and serve Israel, or it's gonna be a lay down situation for you. And even some of our very own, it gonna be a lay down situation for them too.
facts.
So, so he said he's a man of war. He can't put it no plainer. I'm just saying.
Mm. Right when I turned and looked at the second Esdras, I wanted to pull this up, and you got a comment. Go ahead, Jose. Go ahead.
Nah, I just wanted to add some salvation to what the Sister Urban Royalty said, and I want to read Psalm 91, and it'll kind of speak for itself. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Most High, He is my refuge and my fortress, my Elohim. In Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, and from the noise. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in the darkness, nor for the destruction that waiteth on noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and this is what came to my mind when I was hearing what you were saying, Urban. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thy eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made Yahweh, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder the young lion, and the dragon shalt thou trample underfoot. Because he has set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. And it's just something to look forward to, you know what I mean, knowing that we in
Wow.
the end times, and there's a lot of calamities coming on. And the Most High is our refuge. And, you know, we have to be knowledgeable that He's not coming to save this flesh. He's coming to save that amazing spirit that dwells in us. It's He that's in you than he that's in this world. So we need to start valuing what's inside of us, because that's what the Most High values, because this flesh ain't worth saving our spirit. So
That's facts. That's facts. All praises to the Most High. If y'all like the content, make sure you follow everybody in the room. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Let's do a quick reset. I'm Levi. I'm the host of the Forefront Radio. We got a lot of people that's coming in, Hebrew believers and everything. If you want to make a comment, come up on stage. We're gonna switch it up. The question that I have for everybody that's on the panel is this: what brought you into the truth of understanding who we are? That's question number one. Question number two: why is it important for us to know who we are? So the first question is, what brought you into the truth? The second question is, why is that important? If anybody wants to answer that, make sure you hit me on the invite so you can come up on stage. I'm gonna get everybody's information and feedback and everything. So please, I'm gonna start with you, Vargas. What brought you into the truth? And then why is it important for us to know who we are? Go ahead.
Um, what brought me into the truth was I'm really gotten into reading, and I had read this book, that Origins of the Native American, and it was talking about how the Spaniards had came and took our ancestors into slavery, and who they believe we. And the more I read, it blew my mind. I was like, wait a minute, what did that say? And then I heard another brother on a TikTok said who we were according to the scriptures, and then I really blew my mind. I said, wait, what? We are the Israelites. We are then. It's not the people in Jerusalem. That really started to make my mind go in. And one day I was listening to a podcast by Jordan Peterson, and he said, if there's something that you know about yourself that you are not, that nobody has to tell you that you are doing wrong, are you willing to do something about it? Are you willing to take that step and make a difference in your own life? Because whatever you don't do, it dies, just like nature, just like a grass, just like a grass leaf. If it doesn't grow, it dies. Are you willing to take the first step? And that thing took, I mean, that really dwelled in my head for several weeks. I marinated on that. So the more I read and the more I started going into this brother's life, I was like, man, this is really deep. This is really starting to make sense. And telling my wife, baby, there's something going on in me that is that is really messing with me. I don't know what it is. I can't define it, but I want you to know that there's definitely something in me that is telling me to go back into the scriptures. I need the most high in my life. There's something about me that is really hitting me really, really hard, because before I knew all of this truth, I was thug life. Like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna, I smoke bud every single day. I smoke like about $200-300 a week of bud every week. And it really was, I was like, man, is this true? Like, how true is this? And I really started doing my research, really started going into it, not just in the scriptures, but in the history. And I was like, you what? We truly are these people. And when it came about, the more I started listening to other brothers who were really in the truth, I was like, man, like I've been woken up. And then from then on, I just been on it like every single day, studying myself approved, precept upon precept, line upon line, like really putting in the work to understand who we truly were. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
All praises to the Most High. All praises. Brother Jose P21, what brought you into the truth? And why is it important to understand who we are?
What brought me into the truth is it's kind of funny you say that, because for a long time, in fact, majority of my life, I always thought that I knew the truth. And what brought me to the truth was actually reading. And after I started reading, I started reading the book, and I was proud of myself for just reading, being able to read line by line. And I first started by learning like the different stories and the different prophets and parables and stories of the Bible. I learned those. And then I was introduced by, he might be on here, Brother Four Corners, and he introduced Isaiah 28, verse 9 and 10. You know what? I'm gonna just read it real quick. And this verse, it I highlighted it like two times. I had it in pen and then I did it with a highlighter, because as I kept on going back, it kept on growing on me. And it's Isaiah verse 28, and I'm gonna start at verse 9. It reads, "Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people." So, when I was coming back from Miami, I was out there partying with my friends, but I was on a plane, and funny enough, I had my Bible, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna read the Bible on the flight back. So there was this man, a brother, and he was sitting behind me to my right. I was on the out seat, and he was also on the out seat, a row behind me. So he tapped my shoulder, and he said, "Hey, I see you got a book there." I was like, "Yeah, I got a book here." And he's like, "What do you know about it?" And then the first thing I told him was John 3:16. And then the man, he was an Israelite, and I actually reached out to him recently after I found the Most High. But anyway, he had told me, "Oh, really?" And then he started to take me all over the Bible on this plane ride home. So instead of me focusing my flight, looking forward in the book, I was turned to the right, and I was talking to this man the whole flight. I ended up getting his number, and we had made plans to talk about the Bible. But when I came back, I had a buddy of mine that I was already reading the Bible with him, and I came back and told him all the stuff that I had learned on the plane, and he kind of made me discredit it, because it went totally against like literally the line by line reading in which I was doing, and I ended up putting it away. And then just recently, about like 2.5 years ago, I started to read more. And then about a year and a half, I've been on Bible studies with a few people on live, and it has transformed me to the point where I started to feel funny, because I had a cross around my neck. So whenever I would pray at night and put my face to the ground, pray to the Most High, I started to like take my chain off and pray. I was like driven to take my chain off when I prayed. And after I was done praying, I put it back. And then one night, I had taken it off, and then when I woke up in the morning, it was gone. Like I can't. I was telling Four Corners before, I can't even find the chain no more. It's like it's gone. It was gold. It was real. It's not like it was cheap. You know what I mean? But but I don't even miss it. And I had it around my neck for about 15 years. It went with me to war because I was in the military. So I had this cross around my neck while at war, and I felt that the Most High was following me. And sadly, I always felt that, having a cross around my neck would signify that whatever. But come to find out that it was not that. It's all on the inside. It's all spiritual. It's all how you read in the personal connection that you have with the Most High. And ever since I started reading, I started to like let go of old people, old friendships, and he started bringing people around me that really loved the Most High. And then I moved from the PJs, and I moved to a different part of New York. I lived in a house now, and right next door to me was a pastor. Go figure. And me and him became good friends, and he would always tell me quotes every day. And one thing that he told me that resonated with me, and I want to share with everybody, he's like, Jose, remember this. You don't got to be perfect on this earth. And he would point up, and he would say, but you have to have a perfect connection. And when he told me that, I was like, man, I really want to have a perfect connection with the Most High. So I just I really started reading, and my life changed because now what I read, I don't feel alone because there's many other people that are understanding things the same way I am. And now the spirit that grew in me, I could actually feel other people and know when they have the same spirit I have. And it's amazing to know that there's so many people that share the same spirit. And what's happening is that the people that are have the same spirit we have, realizing that the differences, they're realizing that they have a different heart, a different way of seeing things than we do. And now they're trying to claim, the love that's promised for us, the promises that are promised for us. And I say us because at one point I consider myself a Gentile. And the Most High, I always knew, according from what I read, that the Most High's chosen people were the Jews. And then they even found a way to even, give us a depiction of who those are, right? And then I never did research. And then once I realized that I was a Gentile, and then I was like, wait a minute, Gentiles are Israelites. And then I went down the rabbit hole, and then here we are today. I know who the Jews are. I know who the Israelites are. I know the fact that all Jews are Israelites, but not all Israelites are Jews. And I could say much more, something that I didn't know. Now, the people that I grew up with, I cannot share what I learned with them because they will not understand. And that's what makes this journey lonely in the flesh, but in the spirit, there's 36 people here that I know something in you is the same thing that's in me, and we're just trying to figure that part out, and they know that we figured it out because here we are awakened, and we're calling each other's brothers and sisters, and they don't want that because they're not calling each other brothers and sisters because all they know, all Esau, Edom know how to do is fight, and all we're trying to do is just find our way because our whole life, all we've been trying to do is find our way. If you actually think about it, that's all we've been doing is trying to find our way because it has never been fair for us. Since I've been a little kid, I'm a Hispanic man from Brooklyn, New York. It has never been fair for me, ever. And so, we all had the same struggle. We was all born into captivity, but now not everybody going to have the spiritual awakening to get out of it because to get out of what we in, it's a spiritual battle because we're captive in our minds. We're not walking around with shackles around our neck. It's a different captivity. It's a captivity of the mind. If you go into the movie The Book of Eli, right? If you guys could remember, the man that was forcing all the guys to go look for the book, they're like, what? And they kept on saying, what's so special about this book? And in the movie, he says something like, the person who holds the book can control the people because there's power in the book. There's power in the word. There's power in the name of Jesus, power in the name of Yahushua. So
Oh,
they know that.
he said, it's not a book, it's a weapon.
Yes, exactly, yes. I don't want to compare a movie to the Most High because there's no movie that could ever. But I just want to say that they've been throwing it in our face the whole time because a lot of movies that we've seen, if we were to go back and watch them with our spiritual eyes right now, we'll see the message that they've been throwing in our face the whole time. You know what I mean? And now I try to like tell somebody about a movie that they saw 10 times to watch it an 11th time, but see it, they won't even do it. You know what I mean? Because they can't. But us, even though we all watched it 10 times, we have it in our hearts to go and watch it again because the Most High is going to drive us there. You know what I mean? But not everybody's going to have that, and not everybody has it in them. And before I land my plane, I want to say this. Feel fortunate that when calamity strikes, that you have a Elohim, a Most High God, that you can get on your knees and put your face to the ground and pray to and have a connection. Like I was telling you, you don't got to be perfect, but you got to have a perfect connection. But you know what? Thank the Most High that you have a connection with him. So position, get on your knees and pray. Other people, they're gonna run around chasing their tails. So we're on the right side of the Most High, and we don't want to be on the wrathful side. So I think we picked the right side, and we just gotta stay here. Find a way to hold what you got and build from there, but don't let it go.
All praises to the Most High. He that endured to the end, the same shall be saved. So I'm going to ask the same question to Sister Urban and Sister Nikhil. But before we do, I did a quick poll. I said, what brought you into the truth? A, TikTok. B, YouTube video. C, camp teaching. D, Bible study. 62% said Bible study. 12% said camp teaching. 25% says TikTok. If you haven't answered the question, I'm going to put it up again for the poll. Let me read some of the comments that we had real quick, and then we're going to come to Urban and Sister Nikhil. Let me read some of the comments first. One statement was, as a Haitian American, I wanted to know who my people were before slavery. So that's one of the comments. How did you come into the truth? As a Haitian American, I wanted to know who were my people before slavery. Okay. Another statement was where we come from. Another statement was, why did slavery happen? All right. All right. The answer to the question we got, Teflon said, Genesis 15 verse 13 is what made me come into the truth. Found out Abba had a chosen, Abba had, I'm assuming that says had, I'm assuming that means had. Abba had a chosen people. All right, all praises. We got Yah servant that says shalom, shalom to you, Most High in Christ bless. We got another statement. We got Proverbs that said a lot of it had to do with finding my identity. All praises, yes indeed. Stephen X said, even back in my country, I never felt I belonged there. Wow, that's heavy. There's a lot of us that feel like we're the I don't want to say the black sheep because that's so common. Everybody say black sheep, but we don't fit into the narrative of everybody. Everybody is a square, but we're a circle with that light bulb that got that light on with the filaments coming in, and we're bright, we shining, right? And people are looking at us like, you're strange, you're different. It's because they're still in darkness and we're seeking the light. So that's an important point you said. Even back in my country, I felt like I never belonged there. My spirit bore witness home is beyond this. Facts. Okay? Our home, we're like pilgrims walking the earth, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and Hebrew men. We ain't no Gentiles no more. Alright, let's move on. We got another comment. No, I ain't reading that comment. We got another comment. Let's scroll down. What brought you into the truth? It says host God strategies. Uh, Scrolling down through some of the comments to see what everybody's saying. If you haven't shared the page, make sure you share the page. If you haven't liked the content, make sure you like the content. We're really getting into a lot of different topics. Talking about slavery, talking about mass incarceration, talking about who we are as a nation of
Can I
people.
ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
How are you doing? How's your
How
walk
am I
going?
doing? How did I come into the truth, or
No,
how
I'm
am I?
saying, how's your walk going? You know what I mean? Like these days, because something has to have changed in your walk, or you have to have had to like adjust something to continue to walk in this walk. Because I know that daily I got to make adjustments to myself to try to on the narrow path. You know what I mean? You find yourself on trouble.
That's a very excellent question, and I'm gonna answer this with a study that we did today. We had a study earlier, and we were studying from like 12 all the way to about 9 p.m. or so, right? And we were breaking down precepts related to Psalms 37. Okay, in this truth, you're gonna have stages. When you first come in and you find out that you were lied to, that everything that they told you was incorrect, that the person that sits on the throne, sitting at the right hand of the Father, was not a Caucasian male, when you find out that your history was hidden from you, you become upset, you become frustrated, you get flustered, like the scripture says. Surely oppression makes a wise man mad, right? So I found myself getting frustrated and agitated, but still trying to focus on learning, growing, developing, reading, studying. So from 2013 to about now, several different changes happened. Okay, in this walk, especially if you're new in the truth, you're going to think everybody is going to be lovey-dovey. That's not always the case. You're going to think that finding out the truth is the best information you had in your entire life, but then you're going to have to deal with the other side of it. Meaning what? It's going to be sweet in your lips, but bitter in your belly. You understand? The information that you learn about us being Israelites, us being the chosen ones, is sweet. You're like, oh, this is good. It tastes so good. But then the bitterness comes in. The understanding that not everybody's gonna make it in the kingdom comes in. So I was finding myself vexed. And I'm gonna touch on this scripture real quick to give you what state of mind I'm in right now. In Psalms chapter 37, verse 1, it says, fret not thyself because of evil doers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. So I looked up the definition of fret, right? And in the definition of fret, it says to worry, to be anxious, to be agitated, to be nervous. These are all basically fear, right? And I read another precept that says when you have fret, when you have worry, that leads you away from the Most High. So I started to understand, although there are atrocities happening to our people, police brutality, mass incarceration, racial discrimination, social injustice issues, although these things are occurring, don't fret yourself because of these evildoers. Don't be anxious. Don't get nervous. Like that commercial with the little kid. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. You understand? So that's what the Most High was leading me to, because I found myself being vexed with the conversation of the wicked, just like Lot, seeing all the agendas that's being pushed on our people. You know, seeing our people fighting on social media about high value man versus high value female, toxic masculinity versus toxic femininity, the wars of relationships. And all I saw was the love of many is waxing cold. Because iniquity abound, the love of many is waxing cold. Then we had a situation that happened, whether planned or not planned, I'm not going to say online, but we know something was funny about their money. They was talking about some people getting sick. Hundreds of people was getting sick from everywhere. And they already was like, let's get the medicine. Here's the medicine, right? It goes, right? The funny juice in the little syringe. You understand? So it was making me agitated. If that didn't teach you that something was strange happening on the earth where everybody across the planet had to just sit down in their homes, you in La La Land, okay? So for me, my mindset is now, how do I allow myself not to be irritated so much? And the solution is in the scriptures. In your patience, possess ye your soul. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Elohim and the faith in Yahshua, the faith in Messiah, the faith in Yahweh Shai, whatever name you want to call him. We know who he's talking about, We want to make sure that we align ourselves with the creator of all things. All right, so that gives you the state of mind that I'm in. Let me touch the poll real quick. So the question was asked, what brought you into the truth? We got 44% that said Bible study. We got 11% that said camp teaching. We got another 11% that says YouTube video. And we got 33% that said TikTok. So we appreciate everybody that joined on the live. All right, so Sister Urban and Sister Nicure, the question now is for you to answer on the floor. Sister Urban goes first. What brought you to this truth of understanding who you are? And second question, why is it important for you to know this truth? Go ahead, sister. The mic is yours.
Okay. Well, I'm a Gullah Geechee, so I'm from the Sea Islands of Charleston, and it's always been thrown in our face, um, in school and geography class and everything, and they would take us to on field trips, and I've actually walked on the deck of a slave, and our people have actually left breadcrumbs for us, but we didn't know it because it was shrouded with paganism, but it was actual breadcrumbs. So one day, me and my sister was actually having a conversation, and that's when the book The Secret came out, and Oprah Winfrey and all that stuff was talking, and we started talking about a lot of our traditions and the things that we did back home on the islands. So we started reading the book The Secret on YouTube. You can actually read along, and they read the book to you. And after we were done with that on YouTube, right below where it said The Secret, nothing but Hebrew Israelite content fell right under it. I mean, multiple different people. Brother Yasharal, he brought a lot of people out. I don't know what happened to him. Some people say he got, but a lot of Hebrew Israelite content was underneath that after we finished this secret, the laws of attraction. So I was like, I told my sister, I was like, yo, you see this? She said, yeah, it happened to me too. We in totally two different rooms, and this just dropped. So we started listening to one brother Yasharal, and we started noticing that things that he was saying in scripture matched some of the traditions on my island, to where we started researching and digging all down to, we have this running joke on the island that everybody on the island family, because that means we kept marrying into each other regardless. And we found that was Hebraic in culture. And we was like, what else? What else? We started digging, and it all the way, and it's been going on 10 years, going on 11 actually. And we're still finding out information now. Now, not only do we own the slave manifest of the ship, but recently my sister discovered that my great grandfather Toby, or in Hebrew Tobit, because Toby is short for Tobit, he landed on the very same slave ship that I walked on as a child in Charlestown Landing for a field trip. He landed on there as a little boy in the U.S. Census, and you can go in the U.S. Census now. They labeled us a byword, and it's going to say Carterson. And when you actually look up what Carterson means, it means Shemitic Jew. And it's still going on. We're able to trace our roots all the way back to Israel, and the things that we did, and different events and different celebrations that we have on the island. They disguised it, so it was just coming full force. And I think it's important for us to know who we are, because for so long that we've been beaten down and made us feel like we are nothing. And now knowing who we are, knowing that we're the most important people on this planet gives us purpose. We're not thugs. We're not thoughts. We're not baby mamas and baby daddies. We are children of the Most High. We are why and that we ended up the way we did, and the things that we have to go back to reclaim the throne. It makes a difference. It's going to get us back where we should have never left, and that's following the commandments. So it's important for us to know that the Bible is the original FUBU, for us, by Yah. Period.
So now the next question is, why is that important? What is the significance of us knowing who we are?
The significance is the fact that we can go back and turn to our Elohim, and we can go back to to correct the damage that has been done to. I mean, the whole world's out of whack because we're out of place. We're out of our natural order. We're not following the law, statute, and commandment as He intended. And it's important for us to know that and get back so we don't lose. We don't keep suffering as a people. That we get back into our Abba's love. That's the most important thing. Doing what's pleasing in His sight, and for us to know our identity, that this is us, this is the promise and the love that He given us as a people among everybody. It will turn your perspective and see that this book was not written by a white man. This is my history book. I matter. I matter. The Most High loves me, and to know that the Most High loves me and love my people, it will change your perspective. It will make you feel good about yourself. It will make you feel like your life is worthy. Your love above anything else, worthy. People walking around in this world that don't feel like they're worthy of life itself. So it gives that sense to bring anybody from darkness into light. It gives hope.
Wow, all praises to the Most High. Appreciate you sharing your perspective. Sister Nakure, Sister Nakure, what brought you into the truth? And why is the truth important? Why is it important to know who we are? I don't know if you're speaking, sis. I can't hear you.
The curry, prayers, answer.
Uh-oh, somebody in the Matrix. Somebody in the Matrix. Sister Nakure.
Can y'all hear me?
There we go. Go ahead.
My goodness. Shalom, warm family, and peace and blessings to everybody. Everybody, even the ones who didn't speak. But listen, um, so uh, I came into the truth. No, I don't got an iPhone. You know I don't eat Apple. Um, I came into the truth
Shots
because
fired.
I president of the Hebrew United Americas. Um, I I it took a really deep fall, a lot of trauma, a lot of I feel like them curses was so heavy. um I feel like I picked up, he says, I will visit my iniquity up into the third and fourth generation. And then he tells you somewhere in Psalms that that I still, even if we repent, I will not blot out the sins of the father and the mother. And so I'm still going to visit the iniquity on your children, because his word don't turn void. And them curses is heavy, y'all. Um, and I spent the block so much on so many different things. Like there's not a crevice in this filthy, dirty Babylon system that I didn't go and looking for a healing and a certain type of love and security and and truth and I wanted the truth, and I understood that the truth should line up with the love and the security and honesty and purity, everything opposite of what I had growing up. And so I went through so many dark corners and deep in depths, right, to the point where finally I had to ask. This was like, not even a month ago. I said, or not, still like not a month ago, not even a year, but I said, where is God? And I had lost my rabbit mind. I ain't gonna lie. Uh, I had went there, um, and I was kind of like, well, where is God? He showed himself. Oh, he started calling to my spirit, my soul, um, and I got on my tablet and I was kind of looking stuff up, and I looked up this quote. I found out that it was a Proverbs, and that Proverbs had stuck with me from when I was a kid. And then I started reading. I started reading online, and I started reading more. And I came across a lot, and she was talking, and she started noticing that I would come in her live, and so she would speak. And I was like, I kind of, nobody told me the truth. The Most High literally showed me the truth on my own. Um, Even in the truth, there's people who speak on, I say in the truth, like, because of my background, I know that I wouldn't have received it from nobody out the mouth, because people manipulate this word even as we speak right now. People manipulate this word so heavy to try and bend it to their need. So the Most High knew. He was like, I'm gonna have to show you myself. And because people be talking out the side of their neck, even with this word, knowing all the precepts and everything. So it was very necessary for him to show me, and he did. And I think it's important for us to know the truth, because I've seen so many lies, from like the secret societies that they like. I used to work with the celebrities. I toured with Jay-Z. I toured with Beyonce, Kanye West. I worked his Yeezus tour. Um, I worked Super Bowls, All-Star Jams. Like, I worked the Cirque du Soleil. Like, I was busy working and traveling, and I seen spots, and I just never actually really cared, nor um like, I was always just observing. And so when I started to hear certain things, uh, like the Bohemian Rhapsody Club or whatever, like when I started hearing about like weird cult stuff, and I was just like, oh yeah, well, and right when I started to wake up, a witch got a hold of me, and showed me a false truth, and that led me to ask questions also on, like, well, what is the truth? And when I started asking what is the truth, I was like, oh, okay, so it it seems like a lot of stuff is a lie, and it's just like, oh, I thought that America was built on just straight small sentence. I'm gonna just say it as they put the schools in place so that way they can indoctrinate us on the things that the religion, that Rome and all of that wanted to teach us, so that way whenever if we found out the truth, that it wouldn't line up with what we were taught was the truth, even though it was false. And so and I started asking real questions. I was like, well, who are these people in the Bible? And where did these 12 tribes go? Well, how come everybody else knows where the Native Americans went? How come they're still here? Well, how come the people from the Alamo was this? And like, you start asking real questions, and then you realize that, like, it all kind of traces back to the Bible. It's just like, so what's the truth? And then you start finding out that the biggest lie was to cover up the people, so that way they never come back to remember who they are. Because if they do, then that's the end of us. So we must do everything that we can to keep them sleeping. I keep telling people that America, it says, come and live the American dream. Like, come and get put to sleep. Come, let us put you to sleep, so that way you never wake up. Because if you stay asleep, then by the time the clock is run out, then y'all won't even know. And misery loves company. But then also, there was so many lies that I was just kind of like, it really, nothing surprises me anymore. Like, I mean, if a freaking bat angel, fallen angel thing just like swooped down and landed in my front yard, I'd be like, yeah, here we go. Like, I would be like, I should have carried my machete on me. Like, I got a pocket knife, but I don't know how I'm gonna take this bat angel down with a pocket knife. Like, real talk, it genuinely, I don't think anything surprises me anymore because of how many things are a lie. That this is why the Hamashiach got to come back and sort it, because people will lie their way straight to the gates of hell and still lie while they down there. Um, and I wanted the truth because the lies never felt good. The sleep never felt good, and it's hard to keep those that are fighting sleep, because in you, the Most High has put like he chose you from the beginning. So my bad. I didn't mean to sound like all over the place. I'm just saying.
And why is it important to know this truth? What is impactful for you in knowing this, and how to? Because I had a comment to that, put it on a comment that it gave me peace, and I got some precepts on that. But for you, why is it important for you to understand this truth?
I think that the fact that our people at this time and age, seeing them walk around and saying that they're gods, aka Egyptians, Cometics, just lost. If we like, ask yourself truthfully, if you knew at the age of like just 8 or 10, you're not like everybody else. You are an Israelite or a Hebrew, whatever you are. Like, you are a Hebrew. You are a child of God. You are a Hebrew. You are not supposed to be like the other nations. We don't do the things that they do. If you knew this when you were a child, would we be where we are now? Because we taught our children who they were. And if we had children that knew who they were, if we would have known, there's 30 of us in here, if 30 of us would have known who we were, who would we be right now? And it's important for us to know who we are. And I know people say, like, oh, well, we don't know. Like, no, you don't know. But that's the point in talking to the Father. The Father's going to tell you who you are. And when you find out who you are, that's when you become a threat. That's important, because you must be willing to die for the truth. Don't die for a lie, but die for the truth. They gave you the lies, and y'all are still out there slaying one another left and right behind a lie. But I can't die for a lie. I'm gonna need the whole truth, and I'm gonna die trying to find the whole truth. I'm gonna die for the truth. You can't catch me with the lie no more. That truth hurts, but it heals. That truth hurts, but it speaks truth. The truth hurts, but see, the Most High told me, see, I can't take you how you are, but I can take you and make you into what I created you to be, because that's the truth. Because the way that you were is not acceptable to me, but how I want you to be is acceptable to me. That's the truth. And I can accept that because I understand what he gives. It's not something that you can find in the world. Trust me, I searched all the deep crevices. You can't find it. You can fall false flags of it. You can find people who speak on the Father, but they don't walk in like the Father. You can find people who say that they love the Hamashiach, but they don't follow the Hamashiach like that. They don't have the patience and the love that the Hamashiach had. You can find people all over the world that speak about a certain thing, but they don't have the truth. Truth. I, I don't even know. I would have been. They would have probably already killed me. That truth is freedom. That truth is freedom.
Hey, sis, can I say something? You know, the Most High is right on time, and I want to say that I'm proud of you, and so is the Most High. And I just want to say that, like, I'm really proud of you.
All praises to the Most High, for
And
real. Hey, while y'all was speaking, right, all these precepts started popping in my mind, right? And I wanted to share a couple of them, right? Commenter had wrote a comment about how this truth causes us peace, and I'm happy to have everybody that's here in this room that's sharing and understanding this, because it's vitally important that this is really why it's important to understand history, your heritage, and everything that happened to us. There's a reason why we went through what we went through. Okay, and I want to read a couple of precepts real quick. Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 10. It says, "And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt show this people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, Wherefore hath the Lord pronounced all this great evil against us? Or what is our iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against the Lord our God? Then shalt thou say unto them, Because your fathers have forsaken me, saith the Lord, and have walked after other gods, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law." The reason why we went into captivity, the reason why we lost our identity, our culture, our heritage, what we eat, what we wear, our languages, how we conduct ourselves to people, because our laws are associated with our heritage and who we are. You understand? Our laws is our constitution, meaning what? This Bible is our photo album. This Bible is a mirror that tells you this is who you are. You are the descendants of slavery and colonialism. You are the people of this book. You went into slavery not because you were the worst people on the planet, but because you rejected the covenant on Mount Sinai. You understand? Then it says, "Therefore will I cast you out of this land." Did we get casted out of our homeland, Northeast Africa? You better believe it. Did we get cast out of the motherland, Jerusalem? You better believe it. Did we get cast out and taken into America? North, South, Central? This is our history. "Therefore will I cast you out of this land, into a land that you know not." We didn't know about Babylon. We didn't know about Iran and Iraq. We didn't know about the Persian customs. We didn't know about the Greeks and the Romans. We didn't know about Europe. We didn't know about America. You understand? The ways of these other nations. He said he would cast us out of our own culture, our own way of life. It says, "Which neither you nor your fathers." And there, meaning once you got enslaved, you shall serve other gods day and night, where I will not show you favor. Did we get favor coming to the United States of America? No. Did we get favor in Brazil? No. Did we get favor in Mexico? No. Did we get favor in Haiti? No. Did we get favor in the Arab countries where they were doing evil to us? No. Did we get our ancestors building the Great Wall of China? No. The Most High ain't a liar. He told the truth. "Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, The Lord liveth, that broughteth up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt." Meaning what? We're not going to be talking about the Passover no more. We're not going to be talking about how we came out of captivity in Egypt. But guess what? What are we going to talk about? It says, "But the Lord, Yahweh, we know, lives, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither you have been driven, and I will bring them again into their land." That's New Jerusalem, y'all, "that I gave unto their fathers." So our forefathers wasn't promised just the land of Canaan. the land of Ham, we were literally promised the kingdom of heaven on earth, meaning rulership. So the importance of knowing this truth is what? Now that you know who you are, you confess your sins, you forsake your sins, you start living that righteous life, and the Most High is going to start extending mercy and understanding and peace. Watch this. Isaiah chapter 26, verse 1. In that day shall this song be sung in the land of Judah. We have a strong city. Salvation will God appoint for walls and bulwarks. Open ye the gates, that the righteous nation which keepeth the truth may enter in. Like the sister was mentioning earlier, she said, I've been seeking for truth. I'm looking for the truth of who I am, who we are as a nation of people, right? Verse 3. And what's going to happen once you find out the truth? Verse 3. Thou will keep him in perfect peace. Thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusts in thee. So the Most High is like, look, if you forsake the ways of your ancestors, you're going to be in captivity. But if you turn, keep these laws, I'm going to give you in perfect peace. Why? Because you trust in me. You trust that all the words that we're reading in this book ain't fictitious. It's the truth, nothing but the truth. Watch this. This is what helps me when I get frustrated, when I get vexed, when I get agitated with the things I see on this planet. Because a lot of things could irritate you. Watch this. Psalms chapter 119, verse 165. It says, great peace have great peace have they, which love thy law. You want to have peace? Love this book, love this Bible. You want to have comfort when you're going through it? Love this book, love this Bible. Great peace have they which love thy law, and nothing, and nothing, and nothing shall offend them. A lot of people get on TikTok and have discussions and they get offended. This discussion that we've had on here is all nothing but love. So much so that everybody that's coming into the room is finding a sense of peace, finding a sense of understanding, finding a sense of appreciation one for another. I've been scrolling through the comments and I've been seeing hearts, flames, king emojis, all of that stuff. You understand? Precepts. And I give all praises to the Most High that we can have common ground and say, no matter what background you come from, no matter what you learn, you're looking at the truth of who you are, and we're embracing one another, loving one another. Great peace have they which love thy law, and nothing, and nothing, and nothing shall offend them. Let's read another precept. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 14. Follow peace with all men, and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord. So we know Yahweh is helping us to understand the truth of this book. This book creates peace for us. The laws of the Most High creates peace, because guess what? I never knew loving your neighbor as yourself means loving your nation, loving your people, loving your race. I didn't know that. I thought loving your neighbor as yourself was, I gotta love my oppressor, I gotta love people that mistreat me, I gotta bless my enemies and all this stuff like that. I didn't know that it was talking about the children of your people. So when we're reading here, when it says, follow peace with all men, how do we stop black on black crime? Follow peace with all men. How do we stop baby mama, baby daddy drama? Follow peace with all men. How do we stop the lying, the stealing, the fornication, the evils going on in these streets? Follow peace with all men. And you could only learn it from this Bible. Follow peace with all men and holiness, meaning what? Separate yourself from the wicked. Separate yourself from unrighteousness. Separate yourself from the things that keep you away from the creator of all things. You are the light of this world. No man that has light will hide it under the bushel. No man that has light is going to walk around in darkness. No man, listen, think about this, y'all. If you driving down the street, right, and you're in your car, you going 100 miles per hour, it's midnight, and your lights is off. What's going to happen? You're gonna crash. you're gonna die. You understand? So now when you read the scriptures and it's saying, your word is a light to my feet and a lamp unto my path, you're learning that the mentality that the wicked have ain't right. That you only live once mentality, right? YOLO, like the sister just commented, that ain't the right way to go. You understand? So finding out who we are helps us to walk in this light. You understand? We got to have peace with our people. Let's go to, brother had dropped the precept. Let me go and pull it up real quick. Jeremiah chapter 50.
Brother, forefront.
Yeah, go ahead.
You said you gotta have peace with all your people, and I think that that's one of the biggest flaws, even amongst our own quote unquote people, is you know, as soon as we feel offended, quote unquote, in the truth, people and it's because it's something I noticed. Um, People think that people don't, and not even I'm not even just talking about in this conversation. I'm talking about in general what I be seeing. Um, y'all are so quick to cut one another off, but yet it tells you in the last days that we're gonna have to come together. And I said this on the phone when I was talking to somebody. I said it blows my mind that people say, "Oh, I would die for you," but you being selective on who you would die for because you have a preference of the rich man or the poor man. But yet you supposed to give your life for your brethren. So how can we say that I would give my life for you if we can't even speak to one another and stay on one accord, even if it's not on a personal note? You know what I mean? And it's just like that really shows, like would you really give your life for me? If I was in trouble, would you go? And so people have got to put this personal aspect aside because God didn't ask you about a personal preference. He told you what was and he told you what wasn't. He told you this is the laws and this is what if you follow my laws, this is what you do. And that's just point blank period. And then he tells you to make it clear that if you have a problem with your brethren, that you cannot come to the altar. You have to go make peace with your brother. So therefore, how are you sitting up amongst people and how can we congregate together if we have strife with one another? And I'm just like, that don't line up to scripture, but yet you say that, like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, so people have got, and that's a sense of falseness, and
Let's bring
that
that
sense
out
of
real quick.
falseness, huh?
Let's bring that out. What you just mentioned right there about people that have an issue with another brother or another sister, and how our own Messiah said how to deal with it. And I'm glad that you mentioned that. Let's go to that real quick. Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. Okay. This is a clear cut example of how to deal with personal issues, family issues, societal issues amongst our nation, right? Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother offend shall trespass against thee, so your brother or your sister did something that bothered you, right? They sinned against you. Go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. The problem is, we've been so indoctrinated by the deception of this world that when we have an issue with a brother or a sister, we're quick to want to duke it out with them. We're quick to want to battle them, fight them, cut them off. Oh, I ain't dealing with you no more. But do we consider that we are more likely to work with those that have mistreated us, that showed us over the centuries that they did not have our best interests at heart, but we go work at their jobs, we join their schools, we join their militaries, we join their fraternities, we join their sororities, we join their churches, we invite them to the cookout, you understand? But our own flesh and blood, our own people that look like us, dealt with the same evil as us. Like, I don't know you, man. Get out my face. That's how we deal with each other. But how does the Most High want us to deal? When you have a problem with your brother or sister, you go and talk to them alone. That's the first step. Watch
Hamashiach
this.
forgave, like the Hamashiach forgave Judas. I'm like people gotta really understand. Like the Hamashiach forgave Judas, but like let me have not done something even similar to Judas, but yet now people not talking to one another. But the Hamashiach, the one that you claim that you follow behind and you speak on, and you speak so highly of, oh, my big brother, my such and such. Don't speak on my brother's name because you don't have the forgiveness that he had. And if you cannot forgive the same way, then how can you expect to be forgiven? And so I say that to say that kind of stuff is the same thing that the enemy used to tear us apart. Because see, everybody hates when I talk about this, but I can only tell the truth. And so y'all are just gonna either eat it or spit it out. But when I brought up the light skin and the dark skin, I was telling y'all that's that same mentality that they had. And y'all are still doing that. Everybody was ready to come against me. I said, but it still don't dispute the fact that that is the truth. Don't do it. Stop doing it. And y'all are doing the same thing. Y'all still have that same perspective of a preference. Y'all still have a same perspective of if you don't think that the enemy will use something that you're not supposed to be doing against you because you're doing it, then you have not learned this book nearly enough. And I'm not even new. I'm new, and I still already understand that if there is darkness, the devil will play. If you are not transparent, the devil works in the dark. That's why he says you are children of the day, children of the light. So if you are children of the day and children of the light, then why are you not walking in full lightness? But yet you speak and you speak, y'all get out here and y'all show, y'all get out here and y'all act. That's what it is. Y'all act like y'all, and I'm not holier than thou. Don't confuse the words. Like, no, I can straight up own every single thing that the spirit of truth has shown me that I need to work on. But because I've accepted it, it's a work in progress, and I constantly have to repent and fast on these things and kill the old man. I'm on it. That's fine. But I know it and I accept it, and that's what the spirit do is work on it. But some of y'all are speaking in the truth, but y'all not walking in the truth because y'all are not allowing the spirit of truth to show the real truth. You don't got to put on a front for me, but the
And I'm
spirit of
glad you
truth
said
gonna
that
show you.
because I'm glad you said that because that's exactly how we need to understand the very importance of finding the solutions to all that we face right in these scriptures. And the Messiah himself said, through our prophets and elders, right? A soft tongue calms wrath. A soft tongue, if you love your people, right? It says, love covers a multitude of sins, right? When you love your people and you understand that the spirit of the Messiah is in you, you gotta have that same level of forgiveness that you would have for a little child. You understand? A kid mess up, they start bumping their head and stuff like that. You be like, hey, it's all right, pick yourself up. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be good. But with adults, when adults mess up, we be like, oh, I don't like this nigga. You get on my nerves. I can't stand him. I can't stand her. All of that foolishness got to get thrown out of the window. Now let's touch on colorism. Colorism is an aspect that was brought to us via slavery. Those are one of the aspects that were taught to us to divide us and keep us from loving one another. It is with every other ism that's on the planet, whether it's racism, whether it's Catholicism, whether it's Islamism, whether it's, you understand, every ism that's on here on the planet is meant to divide us. Colorism is just another aspect of the Willie Lynch stuff. So our people got to put that away. So now when it comes to dealing with one another and offending one another, how do we resolve these issues? Sirach chapter 28, verse 2. Forgive thy neighbor, forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he has done unto thee. And I don't tell that to black people. We want to hold a grudge. We want to get mad. We want to get angry. You hurt me. You mistreated me. I ain't never letting it go. But your oppressor did you worse. Your oppressor did you way worse than your brother did. They just hurt your feelings, but your oppressors was literally killing y'all. You understand? Literally enslaving you as a nation of people. You understand? But your own brother, your own sister, where the love? Where the love? Forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he has done unto thee. So shall thy sins also be forgiven. You want to get your prayers forgiven? Forgive your neighbor. You want to get your prayers forgive. You want to be blessed above all nations on the earth? Forgive your people. This is what the Messiah was trying to tell us. Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. Let's read it again. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, let's think about black on black crime. Let's think about Hispanic on Hispanic crime. Let's think about gun violence. What are solutions that we could do to solve these issues? You tell a blood member, right? You shouldn't have hatred towards this other brother because he's wearing a different color. Whether you Latin King, whether you Pyru, whether you Crip, whatever set you in, all of that is trash. They made that to deceive you, to cause you to fight each other. Originally, you was like the Black Panther Party fighting against oppression together. The Brown Berets fighting together. The American Indian movement fighting together. You understand? We were fighting collectively. Think about the Maccabees. The Maccabees knew who the enemy were. They knew who was oppressing the people. And guess what? They fought against it. Think about Spartacus and the Spartans. Those were black men fighting against oppression. Think about Nat Turner's rebellion. They visibly showed you who was your true enemy, and he did one of the greatest slave revolts that ever happened on this side. Think of the Zanj Rebellion. Think of the Mexican Revolution. Think of the Haitian Revolution, right? Our people was picking up everything that we had, whether it was machetes, torches, whatever, to handle that. But when it came to our own brothers and sisters, when it comes to somebody that mistreats you, oh, you can't get over it. Your own brothers and sisters do something to you that violated some principle you had, but you couldn't forgive them? You couldn't forgive them? Come on. We got to wake up. Listen, there was mobs of people that was trying to destroy us as a nation of people. But the Most High had enough love and compassion that he didn't wipe us off the map. Now that we have the understanding, we have to do what? Moreover, Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. If thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. That's one of the points right there. If he listens to you, if she listens to you, your main purpose for speaking with them is to win them over. Not to argue, not to debate, not to fight, not to complain, not to murmur, but to win them over. That's the principle that the Most High is trying to instill with us. Somebody got a problem with you? Hey, bro, let me pull you to the side. Let's talk a little bit. Yeah, what's up? So, back in such and such time, there was a situation that occurred that made me a little bit upset. And I understand for you, from your perspective, you thought that it was nothing, but for me, it really offended me. And I want to make sure that as I speak with you, you understand that I'm speaking out of love and appreciation for my people. I want to resolve and squash the beef with you, bruh. So you got two choices. You can either work things out with me and we be brothers, or we could be like, look, I'm gonna just wash my hands of it. You go your way, I go my way, but we still be cool. Ain't no hatred, ain't no anger, none of that stuff. But I'm gonna keep pushing the truth and focus on what I gotta focus on, and you keep focusing on what you gotta focus on. What is that for? Love. Love covers a multitude of sins. This is how you end colorism. This is how you end black on black crime. This is how you end the hatred between FBA versus ADOS versus Kemetic community versus Israelite versus Muslim. You talk to your brother, you talk to your sister, and you win them over. So now what if they don't want to listen? Okay, the next verse, it says, but if he will not hear, meaning he don't give a damn what you got to say, she don't give a damn what you got to say. If he will not hear, then take with thee one or two more witnesses, that in the mouth of two or three witnesses, every word may be established. So now you say, all right, I'm going to get two or three people, a third party, and let's sit down and let's have a discussion. What do they call that today? An intervention. But don't try to sit there and try to give the story to the people to try to persuade the witness. Nah. You come in, they are free from the information. They don't know what's going on completely. You give your side of the story, the other person gives their side of the story. And now you allow those three people that have wisdom, that have knowledge, that have integrity to judge the matter. Okay? From that stage two, there should be some resolution for us to discuss how we can end the disunity that's happening amongst the people. How can we quell the social injustice and the mistreatment that people are doing one to another and in society as a whole? That's what we got to figure out. So you get your two or three witnesses. You say, here's the situation that transpired. The other person gives their feedback, and those three mediate. So now, what if this occurs and the person still doesn't want to listen? Watch this. And if he shall neglect to hear them, meaning after you went and spoke to the person, they didn't understand. After you went and brought two or three other witnesses to mediate over the matter, he still didn't get it. She still didn't get it. Still wanted to argue, still wanted to bicker. What does the Bible say about that? And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. That means now you got to bring it before the nation. All Israel got to sit down and discuss it now, right? You get like-minded believers and you say, look, this is the situation that transpired between me and this person, and that person didn't want to listen to me. I did step one, I talked to them. Step number two, I brought two or three witnesses to discuss the matter. He still didn't want to listen to me. Okay. She still didn't want to listen to me. Okay. Well, let's bring it to the whole nation. Now you have several eyes that's looking on the matter. Several people that's like, look, this is how the person conducted themselves. We tried to set some sort of standard to alleviate the situation. We tried to discuss it, but they're still in their feelings. He don't want to change. She don't want to change. It says you bring them to the nation. You bring them to the church. If he doesn't want to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican. Now, what does that mean? If the person don't want to understand, you treat him like a tax collector. You know when that bill collector call on your phone, you ignoring them. You sitting there like, the person you have reached at this number does not live here anymore. I'm not answering the phone anymore. I'm sorry, oh. Or they say, hey, can I speak to sister such and such and such? And you be like, yeah, that's me. I'm here to collect the bill for da da da. I'm sorry, no, that's not me. I was just trying to figure out who you was. That person is not here right now. I'm sorry, leave a message at the tone. Click. That's how you deal with it. That's how you deal with it. You solve the issue by removing yourself from the equation, by protecting your peace. How do you protect your peace? Great peace have they that love thy law, and nothing shall offend them. So the matter shouldn't make you upset. You shouldn't be emotional about it. You should be like, hey, this person offended me. All right, let's talk about it. Sis, this is what happened. Bro, this is what happened. Let's find a resolution. Let's fix it. If he don't want to listen, if she don't want to listen, keep it moving. I'm going to tell you what my dad used to tell me. Never be afraid of saying no. What they gonna do? You can't die. Never be afraid of saying no. You understand? Or never be afraid also of asking a question. You understand? So if you talk to somebody, what, they can't draw blood from you just because you're having a conversation. But if they don't want to hear, leave them alone. Be like Christ when he was dealing with the scribes and the Pharisees, right? When he was dealing with people that was walking in hypocrisy, what did he say? He said, look, if the blind lead the blind, all of them gonna fall in a ditch. If you see individuals, what do I mean by that? If you see individuals walking out of strife, walking out of malice, walking out of vainglory, always argumentative, always debating, always angry, always agitated, always full of cow excrement, if you know what I mean, straight BS, okay, have a nice day. Good luck. I'm not going to hold bitterness. I'm not going to hold wrath. I'm not going to hold anger. What I got to be mad for? Listen, there is almost 8 billion people on the planet. I'm going to waste my time on being agitated with one situation? Nah, man. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. You understand? All right, so appreciate everybody that was joining up on the discussion. Does anybody have any last closing remarks? It's about 117 on the East Coast over here. We got Vargason, Nakur, Jose P21. Anybody want to give some last feedback, or how did you like the live? Give your comment. How did you like the live? Do you enjoy these discussions? Do you want me to continue setting up lives where we talk about it? Leave a comment. And Vargas, go ahead, give us your thoughts and closing remarks. Vargas, you on?
Vargas. Vargas. Oh,
Don't tell me
hey.
bro slept at the wheel. He stepped away. All right, Jose P21, give me your last closing remarks.
I want to say congratulations on a successful, I guess, first live for you, because all the people that I know, they're kind of here, and has there been no arguing? I kind of haven't been taken out of my spirit, and I'm grateful for that. You know what I mean? So I wish you luck moving forward. You know, it's a pleasure meeting you. I followed you, and the cure. You already know this. I see you around, and thanks again. If I see you on a live, you know what I mean. If you can, let me up, and if you see me live, request a box.
All praises, all praises. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for the feedback. Sister Nakura,
Um, you know, I know that the love is an issue, um, in the house of Yasharel. Um, and we need not become like the people, clicked up. You know what I mean? Because a house divided cannot stand, and we must stand together. And I always tell people, individualites is not a thing. Israelites is. Um, as long as we are divided like that, that's how they'll get us. As long as we lack the forgiveness and care towards one another, that's how they'll get us. The times are coming where we're gonna need, even though we have separate communities and we're in different areas, doesn't mean that if this place is growing, like whatever type of food, and this other place is growing whatever type of food, that they're not helping one another out because we're no longer because we're not in the system, because we're not taking the mark. So we're gonna need one another, um, you know, and I think that it's so important that when he says in Ezekiel 37, and y'all know that's like one of my favorites, um, he says that the bones begin to shake, that the bones begin to rattle. And then once they stood up, he said that they became a great army. And he said these bones are the whole house. He didn't say a portion of the house. He said the whole house of Israel. It's the whole house. The only reason that you were considered a threat was because there is many of us. Yeah, few called, many called, but few chosen. but many, many bones in the valley. And so if we don't stand together, we will fall. And so if y'all don't know how to stand together behind petty stuff, how will you stand whenever the fire, when they turn on the fire? How will you stand whenever they turn on the furnace and we turn into the Hebrew boys and girls all over again? How will you not turn on me when you turn on something simple? And that's not just for myself, that's for everybody in general. You have to really ask your questions that if you couldn't resist the error and the spirit of error now, then how will you fall or will you stand? That's the point. Two are better than one. Because if one fall in the hole, then what they say. So I guess you pulling yourself up out the hole and you the one who was standing over the hole helping yourself up out the hole in the first place. Like it tells you that. And some of y'all are becoming lovers of y'all's own selves. Um but like everybody missed everybody because we ain't never been able to be together. Um Understand that even if you're not married to your sisters are good for you. Um, it is it is the whole house that becomes a nation. So that's all I have to say.
All praises to the Most High. We'd like to thank everyone that's joined the Forefront Radio on this discussion live that we had on TikTok. I'm gonna read some of the comments. So we got Keisha that said Khan. We got Teflon that said straight up. We got On Fire for Him that said it was most edifying. Teflon said Vargas went to sleep. He did go to sleep. He probably did. I'm about to call him and harass him and wake his ass up right now. You got Teflon with the laugh emoji. At the laugh emoji, you got Princess that says, "Yes, I enjoyed the live from NY. Love, joy, shalom in New York. Peace and blessings to you all, family. Shalom." Got Teflon that said the live was dope. All praises to the Most High. We got Zakaya that says, "Love Yasharala." All praises. Princess said, "All praises due to the Most High," and that's right. That's right. We got facts. We got Endor Yasharala. We got we family here, all of us. The snakes will be exposed. That's facts. And right and exactly well said. All right. And we got love y'all from Keisha and Stephen X. Appreciate your comments and everything, everybody, because we couldn't do this without y'all, man. It says, thank you. You gave everyone a chance. That's facts. And then it says, let's keep growing. Welcome to the fall. All right. All praises to the Most High. I pray that everyone was able to follow and get edified from this conversation. In conclusion, we had a discussion about who we are according to the Bible. We had discussions about who came into the truth and what did we learn coming into the truth and the significance of that. We also talked about certain prophecies early on in the conversation, and I hope we were able to at least gain something. Okay, we got Yasharal 2.0 that said, "I love my family." Kahala Abaya, all praises to the Most High. We got Joseph P. that said, "Peace, thank you, and see you next time." All praises. All right, with that being said, I wish peace on you all, and we're going to end it live in 5, 4, 3, 2,